and welcome to the SummerSlam review. We are the Dudley Boys of WhatCulture. I'm Adam Wilbourn, joined by Michael Hamflett and Michael Sidgwick, here to review everything that happened across SummerSlam weekend. But before we get into it, if you're a fan of this sort of thing, make sure you subscribe to WhatCulture Wrestling on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, and YouTube. We do daily wrestling podcasts where we review Raw, SmackDown, the show formerly known as NXT 2.0. AEW Dynamite pay-per-views, premium live events. We have interviews, roundtable discussions, and a roundup of the week, complete with a bodyguard quiz, of course, on WrestleCulture. As said, though, joined by Hamflett and Sidgwick to review SummerSlam Night 1 and Night 2. Gents, fight!
Yeah, right. So, like, Sidge promised to fight. I can't deliver that. Like, I really enjoyed Night 1, thought a bit less of Night 2, and then imagine to myself, I wonder if Sidge will disagree with 95% of my thoughts. And I imagine you probably will.
Yeah.
And then the wheel turns.
I will say about SummerSlam that I never usually feel this way, or certainly don't as it pertains to 2026 WWE PLEs. I was really looking forward to reviewing it. I had a lot of actual thoughts, a lot bad, some good in unexpected places. There's one incredibly unexpected place where I have high praise indeed. But ultimately, it's kind of WWE, for my enjoyment of it, it's one step forward, two steps back, because they've promised or teased or arrived at something really quite incredible, and that'll become clear when we get to Night 2. But the best thing that I think they had up their sleeve was absolutely crap.
No, but it wasn't,
Yeah.
But it didn't reach its potential. I will say it was better than WrestleMania, this. Like, as an event, I think it was better than WrestleMania.
I
think
agree.
it's my favourite Fed show of the year.
I will agree with that. Incredibly low bar. Like, lowest of the low.
No, it was, for what expectations should be set for a two-night event and how WWE produce their shows and all the complaints about the match time, specifically around Night 1 of WrestleMania. I thought this basically took them on. I thought it was like, right, people don't like the flow of these things. We're still going to chuck the adverts in some cases with hilarious consequences. But, like, it didn't sort of, I don't know, it didn't feel like anywhere close to as much of a transgression as WrestleMania did in terms of presenting what these big tentpole WWE events are supposed to be, with a couple of exceptions.
One thing I want to say, because I will forget it, so I want to say it now, it's as good a time as any, is batten over to AEW, because the ticket sales for these nights was terrible, absolutely terrible, kind of embarrassing. If anything, sort of, do we have to move these SummerSlam and Rumble stadium shows back to the arenas, because you can't really have tickets this low and the embarrassing optics and da-da-da-da. The answer to that is no, because WWE made it look. You could tell what they were doing. They didn't do that lovely, what's it, like a God's eye shot or whatever, the God shot of the whole thing, the bird's eye. They didn't do that of the full stadium and like that, the shot the like where there's a bit of pyro going off across all of like the oval. Not like that. They couldn't do it. They had one wide shot and it was not the hard cam. But they did a fantastic job of capturing every single person that was in that building. Not many, mind you, but they got the angles and the production right. I think if you didn't know and you weren't trained to look for those particular shots and you weren't on X or Reddit or wherever you go for your wrestling news, or whatculture.com/WWE, bitch. If you weren't aware of the ticket sale situation and how embarrassing it was, you'd probably think, all right, it's not a full house, obviously, but it's still loads of people in there.
Yeah.
Michael Cole told me it was a capacity crowd.
Yeah.
He's just
It's a lie, isn't it? It's just a lie.
I think he just says stuff that it just comes out.
The stage was incredible
Yes.
as well. Mr.
Was it a belt stage? Looked like a belt.
I thought it was a belt, but I think it was something to do with Minnesota Vikings maybe as well, because it did look like a WWE belt, didn't it? But it looked brilliant. And again, it's like the stadium version of the Dynamite squashed aisle, wasn't it?
Yeah.
The aisle wasn't particularly long.
6 inches long, but I'm sure that's big.
keep bringing the stage forward. Little more, because you're not cutting off any seats, obviously. It's tricky, that attendance thing, because like perception's reality, isn't it? SummerSlam being a 2-night stadium show, even if you're putting in less than half the actual stadium, 30-odd thousand each night. That's
they might baseball that bitch in the years to come.
Maybe
they should.
It's more people. You'd sell out an arena and you'd be thinking, we've left money on the table there. There's 10,000 extra people we could have put somewhere, especially at like their prices. Like, I know they did what was the sale this time around? 50% maybe?
Something like that, yeah.
Like a half off, wasn't it? Like, and that only got them an extra few thousand people. I don't know. I sense they'll probably just keep going with this.
I mean,
I wouldn't mind.
It looked fine.
It's
that shot they had for Punk's entrance, which was behind him.
Yeah.
They know what they're doing. They're dab hands.
It'd be very un-WWE to do this, but I do wonder already about the 2-night thing with SummerSlam. I know they've talked about it for years, so this feels like part of a bigger plan, and there's no way they'd walk it back now, and it would seem like admitting defeat, possibly. But if this was a full 1-night card, akin to the, albeit a little bit shorter, akin to the old WrestleManias, you might have got up to 40 in this stadium. You're not going to replicate you're not going to get 31 night 30. Doesn't equal 60,000 people, does it?
No.
You're probably looking at about 40,000 people to make sure you're going to see everybody. Maybe 45. That's still justification for a stadium.
Yeah.
It's a very rare occasion that I actually got to watch a pay-per-view live as well. So I kind of appreciated the 2-night 6-match cards.
Again, this is all, Mr. Bean looking ass critique that, a lot of people won't care about, so apologies. But like an 11 p.m. start time in the UK with the knowledge that you're going to be done around 2, especially on a Saturday.
Yeah.
It's great. Like, that's probably informed why I preferred night 1 to night 2, for example. Like, that's a viewing experience. It's the same every time. There is a definite in a number of respects, I imagine, as we go on reviewing the show. It's apples WWE versus oranges AEW at this point in terms of the differences in how these pay-per-views are presented. But in terms of the runtime experience, there's an absolute perfect right in the middle of the two of them at the moment.
There is. I've had that take for a long time. Like, they're both on the other side of the extreme for me.
On the what?
The other side of the extreme. Honestly, I prefer the WWE format. If AEW did that, but with 7 or 8 matches instead, bit short. Anyway, that's never going to happen.
Snapshots.
This just one more thing before we get into the actual review. As a broader point, I know you're right to say that their mentality would be like admitting defeat if they downsized or whatever. It drives us nuts because it's just whatever works. This works for them financially. But I remember in AEW were like, they took a year to go, you know what, we probably shouldn't take bookings in these WWE-sized arenas and have like a really sort of hollow, tinny atmosphere. Let's downsize the venues. It will feel hot and it'll look hot and then will be hot. And then that's absolutely what worked.
Yeah.
A year after me said they should do it.
It's helped, yeah.
As I said, we are live on YouTube, and I'll try and reference the comments as and when we go through certain matches. I just want to say hi to one of the guys who always takes care of the
data.
Thanks, on the Dynamite podcast. That is the Panda Blair himself, Adam Blair, at Adam Wilton4 on X, who writes, just about to board a flight from Minneapolis to Baltimore. Just like to say SummerSlam was absolutely awesome live in person. Also, Big E is an absolute gent. Super nice. I saw he got a nice photo with E over the weekend. He who could have got himself in hot water with his celebration with Kevin Owens on the post-show panel thing. You're wearing a live mic, pal. Maybe don't say that sort of thing.
I was just swearing up
Storm. I'll swear, Joe.
Get in.
But let's dive into night 1. But actually, before we do that, let's talk about snapshots.
Oh, my God.
All around the world, around the world, around. Old SummerSlam! They were great. I don't know if the Americans got them because we obviously have stuff on our Netflix feed around adverts, and when it's live, it's just shots of the crowd, isn't it? Michael Cole's microphone is muted, etc.
It was weird because when we watched, sorry to interrupt, but when we watched WrestleMania, obviously we just got all like, and that's why Steve's Apple Barn is sponsoring whatever bollocks they're talking about now. In England, on Netflix, when they go to that sort of thing, it's just suddenly like, well, what a night, Michael! Oh, we got here! And there's just silence. Just shots the crowd, and you're like, is that it? Can anyone else hear that? Like, it's so surreal that they just cut to it, and then they have these...
Yeah, loved it. This is what WWE have at their disposal at this point. SummerSlam isn't WrestleMania, evidently, but they are trying to market it as such, and this is how you do it. Like, I loved them all. I got in the middle of a good time I'm having, and then there's a quick HD glimpse of Shawn Michaels' blue tights from SummerSlam '95. Yes, please. Like, I'll take 2, thanks. Like, it's a presentation choice that I support, and the soundtrack to this year's SummerSlam was great. Instantly on the Good Wrestling Vibes playlist.
Yeah.
Murray despises it, so I knew it was a winner. Like, knew it.
MGK and Fred Durst.
Yeah, unmistakably.
Yeah.
Got any break stuff on Nookie down the back of that sofa, Fred? Yeah. There you go, MGK.
So the first match of night one was, well, actually, do you want to talk about what happened before the show properly started? The
nepotism.
I missed all this.
Heard it. Yeah, first time at the desks today. I mean, look, like, she's had a privileged life.
Basically, for context, one of Triple H and Stephanie McMahon-Levesque's daughters did America the Beautiful.
Yeah.
And it was awful.
Yeah. Oh, God bless America, one of them. It didn't sound very good. That's like, and it's notable. If this was a singer who'd done a bad job, that in itself would be notable. It's more notable because this is the first appearance of that next generation of McMahon-Levesque family member. That's why we're talking about it. It wouldn't be something to discuss otherwise, would it? But it is of note. I think that, one of the, Levesque daughters has made an appearance, and this is they like to still present WWE as the mom and pop shop, even though it's been TKO forever now. So yeah, notable, and she wasn't a good singer.
Nah,
that's that.
But our first match was Liv Morgan defending the.
I get one of my kids to do this podcast next.
Don't put
James
James
it's a wrestling one. Bring James in. People just think he's a worker.
It's jacked.
Cup winner as well.
Actually, Charlie.
He is a cup winner. Proud dad moment on Saturday morning, watching him lift the shield. Oh God. The mentality, the quality, the journey he's been on from the worst player on a good team that we just sort of got him on somehow, to confidence issues, to just constantly pumping him up, to him sort of being one step ahead mentally. It's been wonderful to see. Absolutely wonderful to watch. Yeah, now he's a winner. He's got his first major honour.
I will say Charlie would fit in this podcast as well because he was watching the snapshots and asking me to pause and asking me who people were. I was giving him a bit of education in between the matches. And we'd see just another reason why this sort of stuff works. Tony.
So, Women's World Championship on the line. Liv's first defense since she won it at WrestleMania because everyone else is scared of her, apparently.
If you like.
I don't like.
I really enjoyed this match.
Had everything?
No, I've got some notes for this.
Just worked, all right.
The benefit of having a Saturday pay-per-view as well, I suppose, is I can try and
you can do your job.
Get ahead of it, rather than... I mean, we've watched, 28 hours of wrestling in the last fortnight we worked out? But thankfully, that's that for now.
I'll hit that most Monday to Wednesdays.
Yeah. Io Sky hit a sunset flip powerbomb to the floor early on and takes over from there on. They get back in the ring. Io goes for her moonsault, but there is Roxanne Perez to distract the referee. Raquel hit an awesome choke slam off the top, just chucked her basically into the ring. Sky recovers, sends Liv over the top rope with a backdrop, and then hits a moonsault onto Roxanne Perez and Raquel Rodriguez on the floor. But Morgan brilliantly catches Sky with a Rana as she steps through the ropes and just slams her head against the canvas. She goes up top, but Sky catches her up there, and then they hit a Spanish fly off the top for a near fall for Io Sky. Morgan fights back, goes for Oblivion, but Sky counters that, sort of like a crossroads, basically. Sky then hit the Oblivion on Liv, that's her move, for a 2 count. Sky sets up again for the moonsault. Morgan gets out of the way, though, and comes off the middle rope with a code breaker to get a near fall for her. She goes for Oblivion again. Sky kept dodging it, basically. But Sky ducked. Liv ended up on the apron, and somehow Io Sky just slipped through the ropes straight into a German suplex. I know you like that, on Liv Morgan on the outside. Hits the bullet train attack into the post, injuring her own knees at the same time, really selling it. Back in the ring, she goes for another moonsault, but Liv dodged that. Morgan wanted Oblivion. Sky bounces out of it, but Morgan hits a code breaker and catches her off the back of that with another Oblivion to get the 1, 2, 3.
Miles better than the Queen of the Ring match. Miles better. And, maybe, I'm not making excuses for them here, but I certainly forget in analysing those Saudi shows how, like, legitimately maybe it is a lot more difficult in the gear the women have to wear, in the heat, that sort of thing, and maybe that's going to knock you out quicker. I don't know. But this was, for like more than just that, this was miles better. It had an actual story to it, which was dropped and picked back up a little bit lazily for my liking. The EO, like, injured leg stuff, they kind of just, a bit Seth Rollins, this, like, they kind of used it as and when it suited and then ignored it when they couldn't be asked. But, like, other than that, this was kind of the best version of an EO Sky Liv Morgan match. Liv Morgan's fantastic at absorbing punishment. We've always said that. Like, throws, her best matches happen when she just hoists herself into stuff with gusto. But like, you believe that she wants to attack the other person because of how she sold the attack from somebody else. You're like, well, she's just taken an absolute kick in there, so she's looking forward to giving one back. And they both laid it in, or at least worked and made it look like they did. And that EO Sky thing, I don't ever come on these podcasts and pretend that the wrestling, the actual execution of the moves, is typically like on par or better than what you will get on an AEW pay-per-view. And I'd be lying if I did. That specific transition through the middle rope into a German suplex in one spot is like something you would see as one of the best spots of the night on an AEW pay-per-view. I mean that with like the highest praise. That's like something that they're chucking in like a Bandito match at the moment. That's like, oh my God, how's she done that? That's incredible. To follow it so immediately with that fantastic, horrifying snap bump, again, just to highlight, God, these two are in kill each other mode to get this done. I was almost a little bit disappointed that the Fed's forgotten how to be a Finnish company in 2026, and I didn't want them, and I could feel it as well. EO running the bullet train into the post, which, fine, to realise that she's thought attack first without, like, thinking about the bad knee, to then rush so quickly to the Oblivion off that, when Liv should have been dead again for another 2 or 3 minutes. I wanted more. Like, I was Mason Rooking out. Like,
oh, more.
Because that was so brutal on the apron. The last thing I wanted was to have it diluted seconds later, because then that's again the AEW thing where I would be critical. I was like, oh, sell that. That was absolutely badass. That you've actually done something that looks so impactful. I want you to sell. And they didn't. That was the point at which they went to the finish. And this is an odd problem that WWE never really used to have, for better and worse. Like, they knew they were, especially on big pay-per-views, they knew their way around that, like, dramatic run-up. And there's been loads this year. This was too abrupt. This was like, oh, we've done all the cool stuff now, so you can hit your finish and call it. But really, really strong in places, this, and just nice to see. Like, I've missed this from Liv Morgan since she returned, and it was nice to get it. And I've been a bit critical of EO Sky because I think she can operate at a lower level and still be good. This was her finding what she's best at again.
This was two wrestlers wrestling the occasion, coming out for it, knowing we've got to set the tone here, we've got to put the stall out, and maybe it was two wrestlers wrestling with a bit of defiance. Maybe they hear the conversations, read the reviews. EO Sky, some of her work has felt quite limp and flat this year, and Liv Morgan hasn't really had many opportunities to prove that she can flat out go when she wants to do it. This is a really punchy, effervescent opener that was creative, urgent, like really well measured as well. I just thought every big sort of bomb was executed brilliantly, inserted in the correct moments in the match. I had a lot of time for this. It just felt like they instantly knew that they were clicking in there, and that not special, that's overstating things, but it was working. And they just continued to keep working. It all just clicked really quite well, I thought. And with Hamflett, though, they rush through their good ideas, which is really suboptimal for the Fed because they don't have that many of them. The sequence, and it was really close to the end, where... Oh, no, I've got 2 complaints about this, actually. Complaint number 1, why did EO Sky do Oblivion? Why?
Opportunistic. Liv was just in the ropes.
That's one way of excusing it, right? It's like, oh, hang on, she knows how. She does this move. I know that move because I'm sort of weirdly becoming wrestling soulmates with her, kind of. She's there. Oh, opportunistic. I like that. Hey, I like that. Pull it out your ass. I don't mind it. I wish it hadn't happened in every other big WWE match for years and years and years at this point. It just feels like I never want to feel like you're running through a checklist of pops. I want to feel like it's a struggle, or it's like fireworks festival, or Whatever makes a great match, I never wanted to feel like some hack agent bastard has got a list of things that they can do as like, right, I'm tasked with this match. I want it to be well received. I want it to be loud. I want Paul to like it. I want the star ratings to be up so I can turn during my annual appraisal or whatever and say, oh, what have you done this year? Well, I agented this and da-da-da-da. And it feels like to get high marks. And the wrestlers are just as guilty, like these craven pop chasers that they are. All right, okay, a finisher theft spot, that gets a pop. We can put that in the match. It just feels like so crowbarred in. But I don't mind your
but they did a lot of that. There was a lot of it across the weekend, I agree. And you call out AEW for the same.
Wrestling's got a massive problem with, like, if you told wrestlers now, that, oh, by the way, we want some hot near falls, but you can't do finisher theft, and you can't do the apron version of your regular, they'll be like,
well, I don't know what the fuck to do. I don't know what to do.
You don't want to rip Rogers that bitch, but you're like, well, there's like thousands and thousands and thousands of matches where they managed it.
Yeah, like thousands.
Find that avenue again, please, because there's so many, like the near fall thing is a necessity, and that's fine because that's supposed to be the crowd getting excited for the closing stretch.
Famously,
all they go to are these same tropes.
Famously, 2012, Hiroshi Tanahashi and Minoru Suzuki worked a absolute modern classic with not one near fall. I suggest, who the fuck am I? But every wrestler going today should watch and study it. Stand out, because this is becoming really, really homogenized, artless, soulless, numbing. I cannot stand it. But I will concede you make a good point there. On this occasion, I will allow it. In isolation. The other thing that pissed me off, and again, otherwise I thought this was a really punchy, effervescent, urgent, really click of a match. They completely wasted that absolutely awesome front flip out of the Liv Morgan Oblivion when Io Sky front flipped out of it. I thought, oh, that was cool. You've evaded your opponent's offense here. Go in for the kill now, score a near fall or whatever out of this. And she just got her ass kicked like seconds later.
Yeah.
It's like, if you're not doing that, it's this big, cool moment for the babyface to look like this freakishly supernatural, agile, awesome athlete. Don't do it. Do not do that if you're not going to win or at least get an awesome near fall on the back of it.
Hi to the chat.
She just looked completely worthless in that moment.
Yeah.
Sailor Airman saying, well, first of all, Livy Omega's back, and also love the finish to the Liv Io match. Very creative, action-packed sequence. Hi also to Steve Nucleopoulos, who says, Sidge, run! Gunther's sitting right next to you.
Hey!
I wish.
Hey, you were good.
Hey, we're good.
Hey, we're good. Is Gunther still in it?
Moving on next to the six-man, sponsored by Gears of War, with the Bloodline-inspired Gears of War entrance.
Jobbers out of the way so the stars can turn up.
Jimmy and Jay and Jacob for two, with a special werewolf mask on and like doing like no one cares about that because out comes
Right.
Yep.
Royce Keys, L.A. Knight,
Yes.
and pew pew Solo Sikoa. He's the best.
Solo Dolo.
Solo Dolo Sikoa. Use his full name, sir.
He was the star of this by a mile.
I screamed in my living room when he, the match sort of got started, then it didn't for a second, did it?
Yes, he starts off with Jay. Solo gets the briefest of advantages. And then, well, what did you do, Hamflett?
He did it. I was like, oh, Yeet's back. They tried to take it from us, and Solo brought it back. That was unbelievable. I was like, well, that's the moment of the weekend, and it proved to be so.
Yeah.
But just the idea that you could, and then they get the heat briefly on Solo, and he tags out, if I remember correctly. But this idea that, right, when's he coming back? Like over this, fine 6-man, but it's honestly the fact that you've got now you've got LA Knight who still plays Stone Cold Rock Austin, and you've got Solo, who is The Rock and Austin, both on the apron together on the same side. It was and the crowd were into it. God damn, they were buying it. This is not a bit. This is not like a meme or like the sort of online fans that are jaded or sick of everything or whatever. This was like a stadium full of people that wanted it as well. Well, stadium half full of people.
Yes.
Wanted Solo Sikoa to he's going to do something in a minute.
Solo out.
He's good. Jim, help it down the old hard camera ski for us, Willie Solo.
I got the fear, right? I tweeted twice across the entire weekend about this show. My first one was as he made his entrance, as we were sort of recapping everything that had, gone in the weeks prior. Pew, 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 pew. And I was like, that's it. That's enough for me. I tweeted, push Solo Sikoa to the effing moon. And then I suddenly was like, oh, God, he's either going to have like a Jey Uso botch fest or he's going to betray Knight and Keys. And I'd be like, oh, what a fleeting moment that was. But instead, yeah, and then off the back of that, Jay's like, right, I'm getting Jacob now. Jacob comes in. Solo hits one Samoan drop. Dickhead. But obviously, Jacob's popped up behind him and no-sold it.
I've realised the formula now, because you pointed this out a little while ago, Sidge, how just stealing your opponent's taunt has become another, pop shortcut for wrestlers.
Yeah.
The scarier your opponent is, the more effective that... nobody's done Jacob's thing. Because you can't really... Because, what if you just tell everybody that Jacob's thing looks a bit silly? Well, Solo did, and who cares?
Yeah.
Sorry, Jacob. I want Solo to pretend to run really fast like Bron Breakker. Feel that if you like.
I don't think you can do that.
Done with it.
I like him, but I can't do that.
He would. He'd slow it down on purpose so he could give you looks. He was running down the aisle. Gonna spare him in a minute, probably.
What did it look like, Wilbourn? Sorry for people who missed that.
So he gets Fatu Samoan drop. He does that.
He was Rikishiing out of it as well, wasn't he? He was doing some the various dance moves at various points from the Too Cool period, and it's just well, what can't you do? Well, other than be a main event heel. But
Did you watch SmackDown?
No, I didn't this week.
Do you know who was on it? A star from yesteryear making a cameo. Big Haku.
Big Haku.
Friend of the channel? Question mark.
Just trying to kill Simon Miller.
So anyway, yeah, he gets beaten up after that, and Jimmy comes in, and Royce Keys comes in. There was a bit where it was a bit like, ugh. Jimmy and Royce are fighting on the top rope, and they're trying to set something up, and then Royce Keys just brute force.
This is wild, man.
Just power slammed him off the top. It was like they were.
Oh my God.
Yeah, they were sort of balanced. I'm not sure what they were going for initially.
We fixed Royce Keys. You only allow him to do spinning power slams in different places.
Yeah.
Because he did two in this match, and they were absolutely badass.
The second one might have been even better.
And that first one, did Jimmy Uso not forget he was a wrestler again? Because you're supposed to help me do this. What? Yeah, you could go light if you wanted. I can't be asked. Right, we're going anyway then.
Just get over.
4 hours later, where we're going.
Then we get Jay and LA Knight in there. Jay goes up top. LA Knight superplexes him off the top. But Jimmy dives in as he's done that and hits a splash. Sikoa hits was it spinning solo? I think he hit on Jimmy. But Fatu takes Sikoa out with a DDT, and then Keys grabs Fatu and hits him with a huge spine buster. This was when Fatu and Keys go out to the floor. Fatu here we go. Here we go. They're going to run through the barricade and what have you. Fatu runs at him, and Keys just caught him and power slammed him over the barricade into the timekeeper.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Badass.
That kick there, it's got a monster of a reaction as well.
Yeah.
Bit of a news flash as well. Back in the ring, Jey Uso hit quite a good spear in amongst all this. There was also,
when the universe is on your side and everything's clicking.
I knew it was a good day to be Jey Uso, because the people who were like, here we go. Let's get some numbers off the back of a Jey Uso botch. The closest thing they could get to was an Irish whip clearly being deliberately reversed by LA Knight. And they were like, Jey Uso's forgotten how to run around a ring. I was like, no. LA Knight's been to be chucked and gone, no, you're going actually.
Get your numbers from Solo.
Yeah, yes.
Gift for Solo face. Treat yourself.
In the end, yeah, another spear from Jay, a splash from Jimmy, but Knight kicks out at 2. And I was like, right, yeah, but where's Solo in all this? Well, what happened was they set up for the 1D. Solo, there he is, jumps up on the apron as Jimmy's waiting for the lift from Jay. Samoan spike to Jimmy Uso to take him out. Jay turns round, and instead of just being like, I got you, mate, and distracted you, and then he turns back around into the BFT, which gets LA Knight the win. Solo, always working, looks at him and does a little yeet. Just as he jumps off the apron, Jay's like, get away from me, turns around. Great bump for the BFT, deliberate or not.
Yep.
And the babyfaces get the victory, and there's a hug afterwards.
Nah.
The hug was great. You said it there, right? The
I
baby.
wanted that hug.
Yeah.
Me too. I was nervous because I think like when they raise their arms up, I think Solo's got the thumb out at first, the spike, and then he kind of like, I'm just joking like that. Oh, go on, lads, just trying to laugh. Like gives him a hug, all that. You said the baby faces get the win, and Solo Sikoa, the biggest compliment I can pay this man now, I'm loving complimenting him at the moment, is that he is such a force of nature currently that he is fixing everything that Roman Reigns has broken, because the Bloodline were actually received as heels here. Like, this is the first time in months that the dynamic has been clear with Jacob and with the Usos, and, you know, Jay comes out and still gets the Pavlovian pop, like, less so the Yeet now. Jacob was presented as this big star in the middle, weird bear mask, whatever it was, like werewolf, and like, that was the most he looked like a star, because he just looked finished out there otherwise. But they were the baddies. They were the bad guys. LA Knight is still amazingly, impressively over. Just, again, he kind of can't be stopped being LA Knight as well. Solo's having this wonderful moment. Royce Keys is benefiting. That's what you do. He's not that over. He's not getting these big reactions. Chuck a couple of big moves in, sticking with the over guys. It might work. That's how you're supposed to do this. And the stadium got them, you know, understood the assignment. They saw who the guys to root for here were, so that when you got, you know, it wasn't great heat or anything. Like, Jacob didn't do anything that exciting, and it's the Usos. But what you were rooting for was a hot tag of the goodies to save the day and win the match. And in this, like, dire tweener landscape that is, am I going to say all wrestling? That's probably unfair to AEW, but certainly WWE. There's way too many tweeners. We talked about the main event of Night 2 being, you know, based on this idea of like, well, none of the story matters. What do you think of these two?
Yeah.
What do you think of these two trading barbs with each other, you know? It's just really refreshing. Sometimes, I'm going to sound like a WWE fan, I don't care. Sometimes the quality of the work, I know, the quality of the work really doesn't need to be what people think it does, when the work, the magic, is just actually rooting for the story to play out and the team you want to win. And they did. And that was what was so satisfying about this, I thought.
It was satisfying, and the match was absolutely fine. A few nice big pop moments that were built to quite well. You'll never remember it in a million years, but I would describe this, much like Hamflett, overall as like a genuinely low-key success story for which WWE probably won't receive that much credit. Like, as Hamflett points out, the Bloodline were received as heels. You've basically acknowledged main event Jey Uso did not work. It did not work. The trick now is he'll be a goodie again in a year, team with Jimmy Uso, and that's kind of fine. Jacob Fatu is the one where I'm like, nah, they have actually botched him. And, you know, I've gotten increasingly, well, I like to think it's a measured take where it's like, it's not always in the booking. It isn't. Sometimes wrestlers just have had terrible creative and became stars, because that's kind of what it is about, getting yourself over. So Jacob Fatu hasn't had enough great performances, and that's where he is on the card right now. But they've heated up Royce Keys, is it? I always forget his goddamn Fed name. They've heated him back up. He looked dead in the water at one point. Now he's like a cool guy doing cool stuff in the mid-card, which you could argue AEW managed that instantly, but we got there in the end with him. It looks like he's going to be someone. LA Knight has been booked very carefully, methodically, over the years, to a point where you simply can never boo him. And he's a really good plug-in-and-play Swiss Army knife anywhere on the card. He could challenge Roman after this.
Yep.
He could go back to doing stuff like this after this. He's going to get a massive reaction after this. He's probably not that good, and he isn't to main event consistently. That's fine. You always need guys who are this funny and this over, just doing stuff on the other bits of the card. And Solo Sikoa, what a show of faith they have in him, because a lot of other bookers in the past would have watched him S the B on the Netflix Raw premiere and think, Christ, he's never going to be anything. Let's just cut bait on him. They like him And it's annoying because Levesque is the kind of person who will really lord that over you at some point in the future. You stupid assholes, he gave up on Solo Sikoa and not me because I'm a super genius. They saw something in him.
Now he has both world titles.
Indeed,
Who was
yes.
correct.
Now he's all the way in the main event. They stuck the course with him. They stuck the course with Solo Sikoa. They've obviously seen him be this animated backstage. They've sensed a star presence, and he's over as hell. He's incredibly entertaining. And when it feels organic and it feels earned, watching the lads be lads with each other in wrestling, it's quite a thrill, and I got that here.
It's the best bit, this. Not to, like, ruin the fun, but it's the best bit, this, isn't it? There could be a point where, like, they, like, Triple H.
Dissension within the babyface super gang.
Well, just like Triple H was like, I get it, and let me show you how to make it even better. Oh, good, you ruined it. Thanks. Thanks, Paul. You shouldn't have pew-pewed. That's not for you.
Yes.
Sailor Herman writing, Solo's gimmick as the guy who does everyone else's thing is perhaps the best gimmick in years. Sidge will have to excuse his move thievery. I think we would give him a pass, to be fair. We love Solo at the moment. Right, what came next was Gunther versus Nick Aldis. Gunther does his big entrance, and then suddenly, do my ears deceive me, or is that the Fed splashing out for Oasis?
Great. I never thought I'd see the day or hear the day. They needed to turn it up a little bit, like, I'll say that.
Yeah. Yeah, like a proper, I know people hate the word, they're wrong, IMO, a proper moment, this. Like, he came out and the reaction was, you know, you didn't know what you were going to get, but there was going to be a certain, like, sentiment towards this guy coming out of semi-retirement and having, you know, they'd done a really good job with the build of this. And, you know, like, the wrestling age of these two men, it may as well be that, like, Gunther was knocking around a pensioner when Nick Aldis is younger than half of the people on the card. And all, like, it was all about the presentation. They nailed it right to that point. Like, he presumably asked for it and didn't expect to get it and then did. Mm-hmm. So, like, it was that as well, by the way. WWE, and this is a historic problem, so rarely feels nice. It was a trait of the boom that very quickly went away when WWE remembered what it actually was, which is nasty.
Evil.
Some would say. It can be both an evil company and have given us all this joy and wonder. And, like...
Such a fucking mark.
It was nice, this. And, like, Nick Aldis wrestling.
All this joy and wonder.
All this joy.
Wonder.
Yeah. It felt nice. It was right where the Nick Aldis character is. It was like, this is a nice thing that has happened here. And that is the sort of icing, the nicing on the cake.
Good.
Thank you.
Do the recap.
And it was genuinely nice to hear the emotion in Wade Barrett's voice calling that as well.
And jealousy.
But I think I've worked out how to make me like Oasis. Just haven't related to wrestling shows. I already liked Effin' in the Bushes, obviously. I think it's probably my favourite Oasis song before McGuinness. And here, and I was like, maybe I misjudged you, Oasis. I listened to a bit of Morning Glory over the weekend.
They've got about 10 bangers.
You wouldn't have had them as a wrestling theme band.
No. As you mentioned, lovely big entrance for Nick, and then Gunther just got down to beating him up basically early on.
Took that jacket off.
What a body.
Oh, Nick Aldis in the sunshine.
He's always had a body.
Yep.
The story early on was brief flurries for Aldis. He got like a vertical suplex in there, and then Gunther would just chop him down and remind him who's in charge here. He goes out to the floor as well and gets in the face of Aldis's wife and child, Mickey James, obviously. But that allows Aldis to get back into it. He hit a backbreaker. And then the story was Nick Aldis repeatedly going for the King's Lynn Cloverleaf, which is the Texas Cloverleaf, but he's from there.
Yeah. Struggled with it.
And Gunther would just cut him off every time he went for it, or kick him away and then hit him with like a big lariat or whatever. Gunther went up top at one point and Aldis caught him with a superplex. They're both down. Aldis keeps getting floored by Gunther, but comes back with a flying clothesline and a power slam. He comes off the top with an elbow. And then as Gunther's rolling over, writhing in pain, he goes for one on the back. And then he gets the King's Lynn Cloverleaf. And Gunther just scratches and claws and gets his way to the ropes to force a break. Aldis went for another power slam, but Gunther slid out. Sleeper. Aldis countered it with his own sleeper. But suddenly, as he sort of, pain is etched all over his face, or the excitement or whatever, desperation, Gunther snatches him up with a suplex, Saito suplex, powerbomb, and then once that fails to get the 3 count, sleeper. Nick bravely fights to his feet, but Gunther pulls him back down and gets the body scissors. And Nick has no choice but to tap out. But he has a lovely moment with his family in the ring post-match.
Like, every bit as good as I hoped it would be, and a success on its own terms, right? Nick Aldis doesn't need hair ruffling from an idiot on the internet, but 3 years out the game and presumably quite a lot of nerves and, like, the pressure to perform. And, like, did Triple H say something like this wasn't necessarily plan A and Aldis was game enough when they pitched it as a, what do you reckon of this? And he was like, yeah, I think I could do that. And so I don't know how much prep he's had, but, you know, in some respects, it's all his life, isn't it? Because he would have wanted this, and he would have wanted it to go well, and there was a certain risk that it might not have done, or it might have just died on its ass in the stadium on the night, because it was a fairly simple story. Aldis has always been a kind of, not really of this time pro wrestler.
Yeah.
Not a bad thing, but because it's sometimes better to be in the minority now in terms of what you do. But if people had never, ever seen him and were expecting somebody a bit flashier or whatever, they might have been disappointed. So this didn't force Nick Aldis into anything that he wasn't already 10 times capable of, even with a 3-year gap. But I want to, and so Aldis was great, and there's going to be a lot of roses thrown at him, and justifiably so. But I want to talk about Gunther a little bit, because...
Yeah, this was an all WCPW affair, obviously.
And I love this strain of praise, because it's something that I have become genuinely impressed with Tony Khan, and I've loved AEW on pay-per-view this year. Loved it, possibly because I didn't have to watch Redemption last week. But like, I've loved AEW on pay-per-view.
Definitely.
Yeah. His stubbornness to tell you actually no, the old ways can be changed and wrong. You even said this the other week. We're a list company. We could do a list now. It's probably 10. There's probably 10 ways in which Tony Khan looks and says, "Well, we used to think that's not the done thing, and I just do it now, and it's fine." Like, I am starting to believe that that is the case with the booking of Gunther. Right, not everybody can be world champion. Evidently, as we're going to get onto, not everybody can even get the main event slots. And how those things are used and politics for and fought for often create other situations and diversions and compromises that subsequently, like, ruin WrestleManias? That, you know, create all sorts of mess. I was a fan of the Pat McAfee match, and yet agreed that Gunther was being, from the John Cena retirement, was being a little bit mishandled this year. Seth Rollins at WrestleMania is a case of 2 stars fighting each other, but the story was limp and Gunther felt like a fill-in and all that kind of stuff. But I think we haven't had anything like this before. And I think he might be the best special attraction fill-in guy there is, who immediately then feels like he's a main eventer anyway. Like, I know he got inserted into the match on Sunday because he's of that level, but he's nowhere near the belt right now. And he might have to go jump through some hoops to get the belt, or win Money in the Bank, or whatever it is, win a Rumble, who knows. He might never get the Brock match that people want to see, but he could. Gunther does this. It's always good. Like, it's not always great. You've made that point about Gunther before.
Yeah.
It's not always great, right? And something like McAfee is a particularly divisive one. I enjoyed it. Goldberg, another one, bit of a divisive one in terms of the actual quality of things. He's never bad. He is never, ever good is the bare minimum from Gunther. And these matches, Aldis, McAfee, Goldberg, like John Cena, in a way, they are spectacles. They are worth their place on the card, and they are like a main event of their own kind without a belt. And that sort of breaks the rules of how WWE has pushed people before. And it's this idea, well, he's not getting anywhere near the main event. He kind of made his own main event, and it's a Gunther match. Like, he's become a guy that you put next to him on the whiteboard, and even when he's the sub, he makes it kind of his thing.
I said to you that they just sort of snuck in the old gimmick when the person's coming out. He's like 30, he's like 38-0 now in one-on-one non-title matches.
Yeah,
so they could even lean on that if they need to.
That's an interesting streak, isn't it? You know, like, I just think there is a proper glow around these big Gunther matches, and again, they're not always amazing, but then they're just never bad, and they're super credible, and they're a welcome diversion from title matches or high drama storylines or whatever. And I think him and WWE have found a lane with him that means he doesn't have to be in title programs all the time. This was like a shining example of it, I think.
Yeah, this was can't fail. We discussed this in the week ahead of SummerSlam, and it didn't fail. There were 2 matches on this show that aimed for a gritty, elegant, simply threaded pro wrestling sensibility. And Nick Aldis completely wiped the fucking floor with CM Punk. So fair play, Nick Aldis. This is a nice, elegant story, kept very, very simple. Did not need to be anything else. Shouldn't have been anything else. Just, and its stated aims, he's going to try with one move that he's just perfected over the years and brought with it success, albeit on a smaller scale than WWE, but he's got this move. He's perfected this submission hold. He's going to try and beat Gunther with it. Gunther is going to disrespect that. He's not going to really take it seriously until he panics, flails, and then he gets some drama out of it. Nothing more to it, nothing less. Didn't need to be anything more than it was. Just a nice occasion and simple, quite beautiful professional wrestling storytelling. And I will say, I think he was a bit embarrassed about it, or a little bit, oh God, I didn't expect that after the fact. Because I think when he was interviewed, he was like, I was blown up out there. And you could see it written all over his face.
He asked for a break, didn't he?
He asked for a break. He was completely blown up. By the way, I know I'm skipping ahead, but how friggin' great is Kevin Owens at his job? You thought you would have wrestled like that for the past month, that intensive schedule where they said they'd never felt fitter in their lives. Kevin Owens is a super human.
Those cannonballs were like Steve Austin taking the suplex on the concrete. Weren't they?
Yeah.
All right, the broken neck's fixed then.
Yeah.
Right there.
But I thought Nick Aldis blowing added like a real sense of pathos and just genuine realism. And oh my God, like not only am I battling Gunther, but I'm battling my own stamina, my own body, time, everything in this one match. I do think people might have overstated just how good this was and how dramatic it was. It was a nice bit of business, and I did like it. But I think people are overrating it a tad, but it was a bit of me, this, and I enjoyed it.
Then we got the 6-woman match. It was the Bellas and Paige versus Fatal Influence.
Jesus Christ. Hear an ant piss on cotton.
For those unaware, by the way, with regards to it, because Fatal Influence are quite new on the main roster. You've got Fallon Henley, who's brilliant, and got to say, her performance in there.
Oh my God.
On this match, the accuracy that she hit the Bella dance with was noteworthy. There's Lainey Reed in there. She got in her own suck it, and so I was like, yeah, you're all right. But I'm neglecting to mention the leader of the group, really, a former 2-time NXT Women's World Champion. That is, of course, JC Jane.
In Shawn Michaels gear. I was like,
thought
yes,
you were
please. Thank you very much. Hat and glasses.
So you took that away from this match.
I took nothing.
You took nothing, and I took a sign that said...
You took, what's her face?
Fallon Henley's dance.
Sculpted ass, that's what you took.
I just wanted to make sure I noted stuff that happened in the match. The main thing I took away from it was the sign that read, Fatal Flatulence, which really tickled me.
He's fired himself to death, sir.
Beyond that...
oh, dear.
I haven't got many notes for this match, to be perfectly honest.
I remember one thing from it, other than it started off as like a weird, horrible parody of wrestling, the way that they were just walking into every move willingly, like no sense of struggle, no sense of like crowd interaction, no sense of click. It was just like them doing moves very awkwardly and telegraphing everything by a good second. There was this one sequence where, and again, it's probably too complicated for that, the level that it was like green on this stage anyway versus completely and utterly washed on any stage between the heels and the baby faces here. They did a spot or a sequence rather or whatever where Fallon Henley is in some kind of headlock and she gets kicked into getting DDT'd by her teammate. Because there was nothing else going on, if you watch that sequence again and watch Fallon Henley, it's sad because she takes this bump, and I rate her, and I think there's big things ahead of her, etc., etc. She takes this DDT, and she has to do the bloody hell, that's not me, silly. And then she's like walking around like that, rolling over, DDT, and she kind of like rolls out the ring and then walks to where she needs to be in the corner. It's quite something if you go back and watch it.
It's, for those that didn't watch it as well, like Brie Bella gets injured really early and is working one-handed, and there's a couple of spots she's able to do, and then others she can't. And it's really interesting seeing how that works with a person lifted out of it and no improvisation of, well, we're going to do that thing and we can't, so I'll have to do something else. or we just do it with an invisible wrestler. Like there's like you're gonna have to change some spots there. There was like something she did where she could contribute. It's like a double clothesline or something where she was using a good arm. But even then, it was just, oh man, your shoulders separated or something like
this. Basically went tits up.
Yeah,
pretty instantly. Have you made any notes, or can I jump in?
The Rack Attack 2.0 got broken up. Paige cannonballed off the apron onto Fallon Henley. JC Jane had to make a save. And Brie, that was the bit where she hit her, despite having one arm that's just sort of there, hanging on. Henley took Brie out to the floor. Lainey Reed hit Nikki with a hard knee to the face. Jane missed the rolling encore initially, but Paige distracts herself with stuff going on the outside, turns around, huge rolling encore from JC Jane. 1, 2, 3.
There was an element of like really, really hideous artifice early when Bree's doing the yes kicks. Is it to Fallon Henley?
Yeah.
And oh my God, she, like the split second before the impact of the yes kick, Fallon Henley's already given it the Bailey arms. Oh, whoa, oh. It's just like, it's hideous to watch this. You do not know what you're doing in there.
It was all about the post-match, really. Because
it's like you get, taught to emote first, wrestle and understand the mechanics of it second, and it was laid bare badly here. Whoa. Whoa.
Post-match, the Bellas turn on Paige.
Whoa.
Brie kicks her whilst holding her shoulder, and Nikki hits the Rack Attack 2.0 and yells, "Don't ever take my spot."
Didn't she?
That she gave her at WrestleMania.
Yeah. She's a heel now, though, so that's all right.
Yeah.
You're allowed for a lot of it.
Maybe. Well, the big Bella Twins versus Paige feud of 2026 might be scuppered.
Well, yeah, because it seemed set for AJ Lee to return to like be Paige's partner again and run all that back. But now Bree's knackered, so you probably just have to do single stuff for a bit and tell AJ Lee to stay at home. I don't know. Like, it's not ideal, is it? But then the match wouldn't be any good anyway.
Would have sucked anyway.
Doesn't matter. I don't know. They're big stars, aren't they? Like, is that well?
They got absolutely nout here.
The Bellas have got like enormous crossover appeal, but it does seem building by building. No, but Total Bellas was massive, wasn't it? Total Divas and that. But that's like an entire audience's version of Is the Undertaker still in it? Like the Bellas still doing it. Like the
Mrs. loves.
Yeah,
Bellas,
I think I don't think you can understate them, but
I sure
it's
did.
not always reflected in the buildings. I think you get
Never.
some Hot Bella buildings and some not.
Do you?
Yeah, I think so. But
I've never heard of Hot Bella building.
Nikki Bella's return got a really.
That's because
it's
these the moments, isn't it? And then you know, reality is laid bare in the end. We saw it with AJ Lee, and I was right then, and I'm right now.
Nah, she was great, man.
Great.
Well, in terms
AJ Lee.
I'm not talking about the matches.
Absolutely shit.
I'm not talking about the matches. I'm just saying in terms of reaction and like the star power.
They got it once because the little Reddit brains were like, "Oh, I've been conditioned to think this is a moment I've missed and I've been wanting for 10 years." I actually got a big pop on the first night, then bupkis for the rest of the run to certain like embarrassing degrees. Actually, as the run unfolded. It happened this year.
Yeah.
Yeah, the nothingness happened this year. So remember it.
That's what I'm saying. I remember the entrance at WrestleMania. It was brilliant. All the little skipping AJs.
Well, this feels like the perfect time to move on to the WWE Undisputed Championship match. CM Punk versus Cody Rhodes.
Do you want to come sit here or just let them get at it? Or
I just put my feet up. I meant to get some popcorn for us when I went to Tesco earlier.
There's going to be a couple of things here that I think Sidge will be like, oh, I thought Hamflett was just going to be a complete cunt about this. But, like, should we
do the rundown first?
Go on, then do the rundown, yeah.
Well,
I'm going to surprise you before I don't at all.
Okay.
We found the thing that will finally get Kenny Omega into WWE. And that's Cody Rhodes' Street Fighter entrance.
He would have been humping his screen like a dog on a lampshade when that Street Fighter thing came up. Can I have that, Tony? Can I have that against Will? I'll be Blanca. I'll be Bison. That's Will Ospreay.
Yeah, I gathered.
That was pretty cool. The like select a character thing,
yeah.
And then
it was all pretty cool until Cody Rhodes appeared and Street Fighter destroyed his pop, wasn't it? Like
it's like when they
how
did
he comes out of his little. Is that?
It's like when they did the MIDI version of the Undertaker's theme in Survivor Series. What's this?
Here's something about Cody Rhodes, and it's when you're hot and everything's hot around you, you can get away without. That mask has never been cool. He's worn it at WrestleMania.
Yep.
Yeah.
On his big sort of
each time, except the 41 when he had a motocross helmet version.
Even at 40, it's like I know it's like you're meant to like wear some crap at WrestleMania. You're right. He is getting his pops thieved by himself by wearing that ridiculous contraption on his head.
Meanwhile,
the metal mask has Bart Simpson hair. It's Guile, Joe Tess.
CM Punk, meanwhile, does his long walk.
He's Bart Simpson, and who the hell are you?
Eat his shorts, it's Cody Rhodes.
So CM Punk does his long walk from the locker room through Gorilla. He's wearing the Minnesota North Stars jacket, and he has 20 on it because obviously it's 20 years since his debut.
Gorgeous gear as well. Green and yellow, popped. He knows how to dress for a stadium, does CM Punk.
I'll try and keep this brief because I sense we're going to go long on you two. So Punk targeted Cody's arm early on in the match. He even comes off the top with an axe handle to it at one point. He also hits a leg lariat, but tweaks his knee on the landing, and then it's down to Punk's leg getting targeted. Nice couple of dragon screw leg whips in there from Cody. He also just stomps on his knee when Punk's down on the floor at one point, gets a bit of boost for that. Rhodes goes for like a springboard, either setting up a cutter or something like that, Cody cutter, but Punk just sort of sticks his leg in the air to take him down, but he sells for it again, comes back there with a bulldog and a body slam. He grabs Cody for the GTS, but Cody elbows his way free, and Cody hit a Cody cutter for 2, and 2 from a disaster kick as well. He also goes after the knee and then hits a super Cody cutter for another near fall. He goes for the crossroads, but Punk gets out of that. Cody wants the figure 4, but Punk escapes, wants the GTS, but Rhodes gets him with the figure 4. Punk is selling so much he almost gets pinned, just putting his shoulders down on the mat. But he rolls through to switch the pressure, and Cody has to counter that, but then Punk gets to the ropes. This time, as he goes for the figure 4, Punk counters that and gets the Anaconda Vice. Rhodes gets his foot on the ropes. Punk went for a jackknife cover following all this, and Cody bridged out crossroads, but only a 2 count. Cody's like, come on. Everyone's like, boo at this point. Rhodes set up Punk on the top rope, but Punk elbowed him down, and now we'll transfer over to our American sportscaster with the analysis of, well, Mr. Sportscaster, did CM Punk hit the moonsault?
Ay caramba! Not even fucking close!
I'm sure you two both have something to say about that, so I'll move quickly along.
It's great, though, wasn't it?
Yeah, for me. So I like it. It was embarrassing.
I'll tell you why in a second.
Right. Punk tries for a GTS. Cody escapes, but then Punk gets it. But it's the injured knee, so he takes too long for the cover, and Cody kicks out. They fight to the floor. Punk set up Rhodes on one of the tables.
Any more in Joe Tessitore confuses animated characters for video game guys?
I'm sure we'll find
I'm sure we'll find a few.
I'm sure we'll locate it.
He sets him up on the table, goes to the post back inside the ring.
Jacob's quackers like Duckman, am I right, Wayne?
Punk.
We didn't get that one in England, Joe Tess.
Punk dives for an elbow drop off the top, but Cody moves and Punk just eats it, just smashes through the table.
God.
Feet first, basically.
Yeah.
Cody drags him back into the ring, wants a top rope.
There's Millhouse picking up quite a pace. That's how that sounds like the Hedgehog test.
That's my old countryman Nathan Frazier test.
Cody went for a top rope Cody cutter, but Punk dodged, and the referee goes down. Punk hits the GTS, and they do the spot where Cody bounces off the ropes back on for a second GTS, but Cody countered into a crossroads. and Punk spills out of the ring. The referee's down, as I mentioned. Suddenly, who should appear but Randy Orton,
29 minutes in.
who slides in with an RKO, winks and leaves. Ref hasn't seen it. Punk hasn't seen it. He gets back in there. GTS 1, 2, 3. CM Punk retains.
I'm not going to do like this all praising celebration of like CM Punk's match, although I'm going to praise him a lot in a minute. There was some real problems here, like from the outset as well. There was double boo-boo face, which is the worst vibe for a match so big, so many years in the making. Realistically, the best and biggest thing we thought WWE had, WWE evidently disagreed, or
They got desperate.
Roman Reigns convinced Triple H to disagree, or I'm going to defend.
They got desperate.
I'm actually going to defend the card arrangement when we get to the end of this night, to be honest. I think they got it right. But the double boo-boo face immediately transported me to Chris Jericho versus Edge, CM Punk versus Chris Jericho, the worst of the all you people are wrong when you want your fancy wrestlers on a WWE stadium show. This is a game for stars, not for wrestlers. Now, the thing is, Cody and Punk are stars first. So when it just wasn't there, when the big star versus big star, icon versus icon, this is a WrestleMania moment at SummerSlam, feeling wasn't there at the beginning. Big problem. Big problem. And I dare say this is where me and Sigil disagree. Like, CM Punk, to me, was so fantastic in the early portions of this match. He temporarily made me hate 90% of everybody else. Like, you said that he tweaked his leg. He'd actually tweaked it before that and did the sell before the sell before the sell, where he hid it.
A little bit like that.
Where he hid it from Cody. It was there for us to see if we wanted, but not because it wasn't going to matter, because there was going to be two much clearer situations with the leg, right? So there was 3 cases of it.
It was almost an imperceptible shake out.
And he tried to shake.
Have I done that?
And it's okay. Cody missed it, so that's fine, right? And he tried to shake that off. And then he had the second one, and he saw it and he felt it. But luckily, Cody still wasn't aware of it, so it's not like Cody could target it. The third one, because he's got that stubborn competitive ability and he's defending his title in the big match, that was the one where he caught himself out, and Cody was able to take advantage after that. And there wasn't much in the first half of this match from this crowd, but basically from that leg, and you know, because you had Cody's shoulder as well, but it was mainly from the leg. The leg was the sort of the big flashing red spot in this match. So like the times when bloody Punk slid himself over like bloody Dax dragging his arse across the mat to do stuff because it was easy in getting to his feet, like sliding into the Anaconda Vice because you don't need your legs for that at all. There was so many times where CM Punk, and it wasn't just a case of leg selling, it was trying to make this matter and make it make sense. They did what so few wrestlers do, which is not actually panic about this crowd being quiet and have this story in mind and see it through, you know, for better and worse. If you didn't like the match, that's fine. Like, I really did, but probably because I'm a big CM Punk fan, I enjoyed watching that.
Definitely.
I wasn't into this, it's Cody versus Punk and it should feel bigger. You know, maybe it was undermined by its positioning, but again, I don't think, in hindsight, they were wrong to place it where they did. I think the main event did make more sense than, so that's an indictment on the booking, I don't know. But like, I was really, really into Punk selling, and then I got a lot subsequently out, and I got what they were trying to do. He's created this situation, when they're putting this match together, they're like, look, Cody, they're going to see you as the heel, right? I need to, for the heads, I need to give people the leg selling that, you know, kind of puts me over as the guy that's gutsy but is determined and is clever and all that kind of thing. And then some point need to give you the flashing red spot, and you need to target that. And the fans, the John Cena back row fans need to pick that up. This is how CM Punk gets his back row fans. Like, John Cena shouts the spots. Like, there are...
Didn't get the front row fans tonight, on Saturday.
Listen back, man. Like, this is my point. Like,
3 minutes at best.
This gets loud as fuck by the end, right? And
there's 3 minutes of it.
And I disagree. Like,
Okay.
but I felt like the second half of this match, like, fans were bang into it, and they didn't need to. Cody's been super guilty against multiple opponents, which has made me question where his head's at against the likes of Drew, Gunther. There's others where it's a Seth, where it's just like they're just chucking away finishes, they're chucking away super finishes, and Sammy, a little bit underwhelming as well. Like, Cody's gone to that well a lot, and they didn't have to here. Like, I know it was like the second Cody cutter when he finally hit the ref. So I know that they were doing stuff multiple times. I loved Punk going back to the elbow again because he knew it worked the last time. It's a stupid thing for CM Punk to try, but it worked against Roman Reigns. So this character, like, in spite of the knee, would give it a go. And then obviously he doesn't. And the way he performs it, he realizes halfway through because Cody's moved, oh God, I'm hitting this table here. And he's, what's he doing? Trying to put his legs out. And that's the worst case scenario for him because he's landing on the bad leg. I thought there was like so many nice details that Punk had thought through to make this feel real. And it did. Like, I thought, like, Punk's performance here, I thought was really, really strong in a match that I will say, like, was not all it could have been. And maybe it never will be. I didn't think the chemistry was fantastic between these two, if I'm honest. Like, maybe a hot night in Chicago, Illinois, they can turn that around. But, like, it just, you could feel it. It wasn't going to be their night. From, like, the first minute, you could feel it. It wasn't going to be the night.
It had that dreaded, oh, this is not going to be good feeling. And I don't think they ever shook it.
Just briefly, because obviously that's going to be one complete side, and Sidgwick obviously will give you a lot of the other. I completely agree with all the mocking and abuse that the execution of the moonsault by CM Punk, as incredible as the vibes were, by the way, but you want to perform a spot exactly as Terry Funk did, you're going to have people take the piss out of you. Which is it? Which is it? That was a like-for-like, inch-perfect replication of a Terry Funk moonsault. So was it a terrible moonsault because it was executed like that? Or was it incredible? Because cactus, I'm going to fly on my ass right now. Like, which is it? Ball knowers, make your mind up. Like, are we hating, oh, nasty CM Punk, Pepsi Phil fucked it up again. Did he? Or did he pay tribute to your hero? Like, because that's exactly what it was. That is a Terry Funk moonsault right down to the miss. Terry Funk never landed on someone's arm when he hit that thing, right? He would just like, it's an old man upside down cactus. That was the appeal of it. Like, and they even laughed it off in the ring together. And the vibes were great. Like, people
say, can I get a replay on that?
Yeah. It's like, what are they doing?
It's the fact that they went for the pin.
Well, yeah.
It's like Cody's like, whoa.
It's how Terry Funk won the ECW World title in the main event.
I don't give a shit about Terry Funk.
I know, and I've been trying to make that point for years. And
yes,
nobody
but what I'm saying is I don't care about, you can, I was wondering.
Terry Funk's crap.
I was wondering how your specific mind would work in terms of how are you going to convince yourself this was good? Invent an enemy. Classic technique.
No.
I will say, right, that there was no intensity, really. It was flat. It didn't really build to anything. It had that instant, oh, this is not good, and it ain't going to get any better. And it was quiet. I didn't think this was very good at all. Thought CM Punk's individual performance at times bordered on pathetic.
Nah.
It did. It did. At some point, you have to, I understand what he's going for, right? I understand what you're trying to do there, Philip, okay? But here's, I understand, and I did catch that, very quickly, I need to feel that out. I'll try. I know what he's doing. And I did notice that almost imperceptible leg thing early. And I thought that was clever. The only nice thing, vaguely, I can say about this match, right, was that there were little moments of, these are a level above, these do the kind of wrestling that I like, i.e. the good kind, and they are really good at it, and it's all going to waste because this crowd is dead. They've wasted this match. One thing before I point out the few things that I quite liked, you said there was a problem from the outset of the entrances. I think the problem with this match was well before the bell rang. I think they should have kept it on that knife edge of they don't trust each other. Something might go awry, but you have to wait for the match. I thought they were going to do like a bit of, I don't know, right? I wouldn't have done the pull apart on SmackDown, principally because it looked awful.
Yeah. That was a bad segment.
That was a bad segment and a
Stumbo, Bumbo, promos, bad brawl, bad segment.
It was just, it wasn't the right time to do this match, but maybe with hindsight, they should have, because they've got minimal chemistry together. I would have had it so like the belt stuff maybe happened on the go home, or they just sort of preserved that thread of, are they trying to be dicks to each other? Is this going to boil over? If that handshake, come on, let's go, competitive babyface match, and then like sort of an errant blow, and then it just mutates into a fight throughout. I think they missed out a good chunk of build within the match by doing the stupid pull apart that WWE feels they need to do constantly, and then they sort of They just sort of narrowed the scope of what they could do with two baby faces in this match is a thing unto itself. Here are the things that I liked, and I'm going to go into specifically why I thought this is a bad match, right? Cody Rhodes, and I'm going to sound like such an arsehole, and I apologize in advance. Like, you know what's good? Canadian Destroyers? No. Headlocks. Okay, I'm the worst person you've ever met. One of these arseholes on Twitter he did a simple headlock where it's like he's attacked CM Punk and then rived the head.
Yeah.
Like he doesn't just go, right, hoop the arm around like you've got a hot chick at the movies. And you're going, headlock. You know, that old one. He just latches onto his, really aggressively, and that was good. The scoot into the Anaconda Vice was great. Even better, I think, from Cody Rhodes, the superior wrestler in this match at least. The way he fought out of it was like, that's going to be a finish that. I need to not let this guy do this move to me. There were tiny little kernels of these two having a struggle in a wrestling match. That would be good. Now, the reason why this match didn't work for me wasn't just like CM Punk doing a crap moonsault because, you know, welcome to CM Punk. He wouldn't be the kind of guy he is, the wrestler he is, if he didn't think foolishly he could do this stuff. He doesn't break down barriers.
You can't be like sort of, for the guy that normally does such a gorgeous elbow, that was an ugly ass moonsault.
CM Punk, the DNA of this man doesn't exist, and he doesn't change everything directly, indirectly, or otherwise if he doesn't have the brain to think he can do things he can't. Because when he does them, they're electrifying. And when he doesn't, it's like, well, that's CM Punk. He's got that attitude. He's got that mentality. So I wish they hadn't gone for the pin. But whatever. I don't care about 47-year-old, lead in his ass, skinny, fat, never been a great athlete, CM Punk not nailing, you know, a friggin' Great Muta moonsault. I do not care about that. What I do care about is how, like, crap physically he is at almost literally everything. He can do the space between move stuff still to this day really well. Do that knee thing. He can use a failing body really well, like the scoot, you know? Even little things like the way he just kind of falls into a cutter was crap. He can't even stand up properly or keep his balance when he's doing a kick counter. He looks pathetic at times in there. And
saying it like sort of, oh, Phil's had a fall right there.
Did he or did he not have a fall at SummerSlam? He had a fall. He had a couple. And it's not just like a counter where he has to pluck someone out of thin air with a pretty athletic, explosive kick that he failed miserably to do, or that he cannot have the snap in him anymore. He's always had a bit of snap, not much, but a bit. Was it Roman Reigns who said he doesn't have an explosive bone in his body? Funny quote. Like, he kind of falls into these Cody Cutter bumps, and it looked a bit bad. At this point, the guy is so physically beat up and bad at the physical form of pro wrestling that, for me personally, who doesn't have the latitude, at the end of the day, it's all about whether you like someone. And I don't seem to like him very much. He doesn't do anything for me. Like, even that little sequence that, it's a bit of a wrestling sequence, that's cool, where CM Punk has got Cody in a hammerlock, and Cody does the right, I'm going to try and spin him out of this and send him out of the ring. It looked so rubbish.
It was the direct Brett and Owen lift, wasn't it?
Yeah, but it looked absolutely horrendous. There was no talk on it whatsoever. There was no sense that, oh, Christ, I'm going to get sent flying by him. It was, I'm just going to run around in a circle and fall out the ring. It was so slapdash. Physically, this was closer to Heroes of Wrestling than anything I've seen in years and years. CM Punk was bad. Physically, he is.
I didn't feel length, by the way. I was really surprised at the half an hour.
It took ages.
Like, I didn't feel... And maybe, again, this is maybe my perception of how the crowd took to this, or how invested I was, and then listening for the volume in the audience. I think you watch this back, I think they were way more invested, and then a second half of the match happened. It felt like they were heading towards a finish, and that was when the crowd, as is often the case with WWE, that's where the crowd came up. But then it only then moved to like the outside, for example, and you think, they're going towards the steps. Is Punk going to, like, I thought he was going to blade again by the steps, and I was like, they're probably saving that for Hell in a Cell.
Probably saving it for a cool company. I don't know.
But,
Physically, he doesn't have what it takes anymore. And as I said, it's not just the moonsault. It's the little things he should be good at, like the Brett tributes. He just falls about. He looked knackered in there. And it's one of those feature not a bug. If you're CM Punk, and I would actually describe this as the bare minimum, he can sell the hell out of a knee. He really can. He's got that foundational brilliance still. He can build it. He can build on it and just tweak, sell, agony. He's the anti-Seth Rollins, and I mean that is the highest possible compliment, where everything that he has absorbed, a bit of damage to his body, he will factor that into his performance. And he thinks about it still to this day a great deal. Even the little space between wrestling-y bits, when he isn't just on his own in a position of vulnerability, conveying pain, he is too physically washed to do anything.
I'm not seeing it to that extent. To be honest, I'm just not I'm not seeing this guy that's going out there like Hogan, a guy who would have been a similar age, like Hogan in 2002. Is one that springs to mind. A guy that's put at the top of cards.
Hogan looked better in 2006.
And The Undertaker can't get him up for that. I'm just not seeing that level of performance.
Hogan could lift his leg up. Hulk Hogan in 2006 could lift his leg up. CM Punk in 2026 can't do that.
I don't know. As well, I will just reiterate, I've had a big problem with, like, in different ways, right? The inability for half of the 3/4 of the WWE roster to wrestle. Like,
it stands out.
They can't wrestle. They can't wrestle, and it's a problem. I don't connect with enough of the AEW mid-cards because I'm bored and tired and full of the match types that don't have selling like this. And that possibly, it will have coloured my enjoyment of this match because I was just, and again, like Cody was excellent in places with it. I need a bit more of this.
Struggle.
Yeah, I need a bit more of this.
A little idea of
you desperately don't want to become like a patronising Rip Rogers arsehole there, but it's like this
chaining the offense as well, like the bridge out. I can do the Cody cutter because I'm clever.
And I think it's so interesting to dissect now as the months go on. As I said on the Raw preview, and we haven't even got to the match yet, Roman won a massive political battle this weekend, and in a way, Seth Rollins did too.
Yeah. And your favourite got upstaged by Nick Aldis and Seth Rollins. If I was you, I wouldn't come into work.
The fans loved that main event, that night too. Loved it, right? Loved it. So Punk and Cody had the wrong match for the stadium, or had the wrong match full stop.
It was Daniel Bryan versus AJ Styles, ... only worse.
Well, ... only better.
No, it was
close.
Worse.
You were so close. It was much better than that. Jesus. Like, the best bit in that match was before they even got in the ring when Bryan cut the promo on the burger. It did show something. And we know this about WWE crowds, but I wouldn't have in a million. We'll get to the main event. I didn't think that match stood a chance with the story we knew they were going to tell of generating the noise that a Punk Cody would, and I was wrong, and they were wrong. Like the wrestlers themselves were wrong. And I don't know, there's going to be a lot to think about with all of that, I think, as we go through the next few months in terms of where people fit and what we know about I don't think this has done anything to the existing pyramid. I think CM Punk is the top babyface. I think Cody Rhodes is the next most important guy. I think Roman Reigns is a fraud. But on this night, on this weekend, that sort of flipped a little bit.
Right, let's get to the main event of night one. It was Brock Lesnar versus Obafemi. Hell in a Cell. Nice Taz shout out from Michael Cole as Brock was making his entrance. Here comes the pain. Femi, though, learnt from last time, didn't mess
the
about.
Channel City Jones.
He
sure is a devil, Michael. Different Taz joke.
Femi jumps Brock at the bell, beats him up in the corner. Missed a charge, though, and Brock immediately takes him to Suplex City. After 3, though, Femi just popped up and clotheslined Brock to the floor. He outside sends Brock into the cell. Brock sends Femi into the stairs, goes for a suplex, but Femi reversed it and suplexed Brock. He sends Brock into the stairs, then pulls a table from underneath the ring, props it up in the corner of the cell, and Brock just flies through it, breaking it in half. They go back in the ring, but Brock has grabbed the ring stairs and some brilliant bumps here from Obafemi with 3 shots that look like his head was taken off by Brock Lesnar. More German suplexes from Lesnar. He beats up Obafemi with the Wingstop chair. Delicious. And suplexes him onto a pile of chairs as well. He catches Femi, who tries to fire up and charges at him. Goes for the F5, but Femi escapes, hits a Uranagi, hits the fall from grace, but only gets a 2 count. Brock does the Undertaker sit-up and then just kicks Obafemi right in the face. I did like that spot. Hit him with an F5. Femi no-sells it, pops up. Second F5. Again, Oba's back up. Third F5. Only gets a 2 count.
That was a good near fall.
So Brock grabs the Wingstop chair and just smashes it all over Oba's back, obviously. And then suddenly he looks around and starts tearing open the canvas. And he exposes the wooden boards, akin to obviously his match with The Undertaker. And then he picks them up, looks like he's going for an F5. Transitions into a tombstone. Does The Undertaker's arm cross cover. But Obafemi kicks out at 2. So Brock goes for the chair again, but Femi fires up, punches it out of Brock's hand, and hits the fall from grace, not quite onto the exposed boards. You could see how gutted Brock was with all that.
Oh, bloody hell, we missed. Like, as 1, 2. We should have been over there, Robert. 3.
I
1,
thought...
2, 3. Yeah, and post-match.
Don't put me on the board. You can do that.
I thought he was looking good, and we missed him.
Post-match, Cole announces the next big thing is here. There's that great shot with all the lights behind Oba doing his pose. And Brock actually came back to the ring to hug Obafemi, raise his hand in victory, and announce he's the future of WWE. He says this is the past, pointing at himself. This is the future. And that is the end of night 1 of SummerSlam.
So this was the second example I was going to have of the Tony Khan shows that things can be different, and I think this was another case of that. I didn't think this match was much. A couple of interesting spots aside, I think the objectives were achieved and then some. Like, I would go in terms of, like, not star making. Obafemi's already a star, but his star continues to be on the rise.
Torch passing?
Well, I don't like that, really, because I think the torch was passed at WrestleMania, and I think we've been faking it since then. I think this was something else. I think this was considering what they were aiming for, absolutely the right call to put this on last over top of Punk and Cody, which I never would have thought going into it. And had they have done this match and then not put it in the main event, it doesn't satisfy its objective of making Obafemi feel like the guy that you strap the rocket to and you put the company around and the guy that's going to be winning the title and carrying everything. Because at the very end of this, last guy in the ring, last guy in the show, last guy in the stadium, Obafemi looked built for it, and wrestling has changed in that regard, because there was once upon a time where it was like, if you were going to get made or if you were going to get the robe or whatever it was, you had to have all of it. The match had to be brilliant as well. It had to be like, well, it's Oba's big night. Like, Brock needs to be there for it, Oba needs to be there for it, and everything needs to go perfect. Otherwise, you know, it's a tightrope and he could fall off. The match never took enough risks for him to fall off that proverbial tightrope. It was good. You know, like, had some... I loved Brock going through the table.
That was good.
I loved Oba's selling of... He said, like, popped up from the F5. He kind of, like, popped up from the first one, and then he did, like, sort of drunk stumbling for the second one, and it was almost like his body on autopilot can sustain F5s, and that was an interesting way to sell it, I thought. And Brock, as we've said before, when he wants to, can take a really impressive bump, and did. Oba hasn't yet had to exhibit that he's got good snap, and he did here, and he's got good snap, and a guy that big doesn't have to do that very often. So we got to look at that as well. But the decision to have this go last, put him on last, give him the platform, and are you all right with this? He's more than all right with it. He's ready for it right now. Like, he's made an embarrassment of 10 contenders. You know, it's Obafemi's. It's not even CM Punk's and Roman Reigns at this point. It's Obafemi's, and good, because he's the young guy and he's the star. And so often we'd say this about young guys who, by the way, are nearly, you know, as old as I am, or like guys that have like had 3 or 4 chances, and it's like you got to pretend that defeat didn't exist. You know what I mean? Like, this was inch perfect in terms of star making for Obafemi. Match was just all right. It really didn't matter.
The match was just all right, but it was basically the correct sequel to WrestleMania, in that WrestleMania told you he has just beat Brock Lesnar and we are serious about him, and this match told you he is headlining at the expense of CM Punk and Cody Rhodes. You can be absolutely certain he's going to do something monumental, if not headline WrestleMania Sunday. Forget about the contest. I was actually underwhelmed by it. I really thought I was going to make the Just Bleed noise way more than I did. I might have half made it twice. I did get a near fall out of it. So, in terms of the noises I made, not enough.
Brock putting the pads on his arms promised more than we got, considering that what he did do was a tombstone on wood. Like, he didn't have knee,
knee
pads on. He was like, "What? Where are you going with them on?" Like, and then nothing came of that. But he just like with both knees on the wood.
I needed a few more stupid splats into the cage wall. Just a bit more violence, a bit more whatever. But ultimately, I had the exact same thoughts as I do about the WrestleMania match. It didn't matter. It was literally a very effective way of telling you Obafemi is the guy, ... Again, It was the bare minimum, but it completely delivered.
Right, switching gears now to night 2 of SummerSlam. We started with the number 1 contenders match. It was supposed to be Finn Balor versus Sami Zayn to see who would face CM Punk next, obviously for the WWE Championship. But before we can get anywhere, the SmackDown GM, whose name actually is just gone.
It's Nick Aldis.
Of
he
course
got
it
given
is.
the job
Sorry.
by Triple H after his valiant effort against Gunther.
Yes, he offered it. He offered his resignation, didn't he? And then
Did he have it before?
Triple H tore up the resignation basically and said, "Nah, back to work."
I quite like that, by the way, because Adam Pearce is kind of a little bitch now, and he's going to be really annoyed about it. That was my job. I like them.
I want them to have a match.
It's all right between them two.
I want
good.
them to have
Red
a
versus
match.
Blue for Survivor Series.
Oh God, if you like.
Wait, Survivor Series War Games.
War Games and the T-shirts.
Best of both worlds.
Raw Games featuring SmackDown.
Yes, so it's meant to be Balor and Sami. And Balor comes out. I thought Sami was phenomenal here.
His face for the entire show.
He comes out and he only hears cheers. There's a mixed bag of people. He's like, "Yeah, come on, guys, here we go." He's got his conspiracy thing on. Wade is clearly a fully paid up member of all that as well. He comes down to the ring. He sort of mouths off a bit to Finn. He's a bit like, "All right, mate, not my fault." Right? But before the match can start, Nick Aldis comes out, and says, "Look, I've been reinstated, and I want to do what is best for business." He's got a bit of a shiner. What is best for business, and that is adding a participant to this match. Gunther comes out. I thought that burgundy looked...
Oh my God.
Good stuff. He walks down to the ring. Sami is apoplectic with all this, by the way. But don't worry, because Nick's not finished. And he announced, I didn't say I was adding just one more participant. This is now a fatal 4-way. We need one more guy out there. And Kevin Owens' music hits.
Oh my God.
Forgot how awesome he was.
Yeah.
That's the best thing a return can do to you.
Fans were in tears. Sami Zayn didn't move, it felt like, for about 5 minutes. He just had that look on his face.
Brilliant.
He was absolutely transcendent here, Sami Zayn, to capture those two diametrically opposed emotions of this is an injustice. Also, justice has been restored because Kevin Owens is back and he deserves it. He was amazing. Sami Zayn's the best actor in wrestling, I think.
And holding it, knowing that it was important that you had to register Kevin Owens' return as well. So you need to be on Kevin Owens' faces, the audience that were in tears, as you say, that were worth. I know sometimes the cuts to the crowd are annoying, but they were worthwhile.
They were great, yeah.
And then, if in doubt, you go back to Sami because he's just frozen on the spot, pulling that face. This was like good promotion. This is proper registering of all the stuff that mattered. Kevin Owens' entrance was goosebumps stuff.
Yeah.
Like you were waiting for that scream that he does, but he was taking it in and you were there with him. And
it took us a second because the people were quicker in the stadium than me to hear the riff because it just got drowned out instantly. I was like, oh, it is.
And so, Sami's still just kind of frozen on the spot as Owens immediately takes out Gunther and Balor. Cannonballs in the corner, as you mentioned. Just, okay.
Yeah.
Check the neck's all right then. And then clears the ring of Gunther and Finn. Turns around, there's Sami Zayn, and there's a moment, there's a stare down. Then there's a moment where they hug and they sort of just acknowledge, right, let's kick the crap out of each other. They start swinging at each other.
How great, by the way, sorry. You know, if Kevin Owens had returned and they hadn't done that yet, and it was like, oh, what's going to happen? This is such a, what's going to happen when he bumps into Sammy? This is such a fun new way to do it. It's like, literally night one, and they do all the emotions straight away.
Yeah.
The shock, the hug, but we also fight. What was the last thing you did, Kevin? Oh, it was me and you in like No Holds Barred or whatever it was. They've just cut to the chase with it this time. I like that use of their feud this time around.
Owens hits a senton on Sammy, who goes to the floor, and Owens takes out everyone out there with a swanton to the outside. There's other people in this match I should mention. Gunther hits Balor with his own shotgun dropkick a little bit later on. Power bombs Balor, puts him in a Boston Crab, but Owens comes in and just kicks Gunther's head off. Gunther fights back, boots Owens down, but Owens comes back with a clothesline. Balor comes in, catches Owens with an enziguri, tries for a superplex, but gets that twisting fisherman's superplex from Kevin Owens off the top. That's when Zayn slides in and tries to steal it. Gets a 2 count. In the end, Owens goes for a swanton on Zayn, who's down, but Zayn gets his knees up, and Owens starts selling his neck. Sammy is concerned for, about that long, and then realizes, just haluva kick him. But as he runs in to do that, Gunther grabs him for a sleeper. He goes down. Balor hits a coup de grace onto both of them. Sammy kicks out. Owens hits a stunner on Gunther. I think one on Finn as well. Tries one on Sammy, who counters that with a Blue Thunder Bomb. He sets up for a haluva kick, but Owens super kicks him. Stunner. 1, 2, 3. Kevin Owens is the #1 contender for CM Punk.
I think it's just so much to love here, isn't it? It was a match I was dreading. Finn Balor versus Sami Zayn was destined to die in the stadium. So straight away,
Just like Punk and Cody.
Elements of Punk and Cody, and like that was dealt with by turning this into a 4-way. Honestly, man, CM Punk will have another good night soon. But, he's not washed after all. The cycle will repeat. You know?
The only time he's looked anywhere near great is during a match against Roman Reigns, the story of which was, it's your spot, man. I'm physically defeated here.
Like maybe the best match of the year.
No.
No.
Nope. There'll be a better one on Wednesday.
Ugh, that disgusts me.
What, when we review NXT?
No. When we
Good
watch,
catch. I was thinking he meant Dynamite, but who would be stupid enough to say something like that? The Spot
Mike
Fest.
Bailey versus Kyle Fletcher in Arena Mexico.
Yeah.
Their chemistry plus that atmosphere.
Solid
Joking,
sequel.
not another WCPW affair.
There's one for you and one for you.
You know it's bad when you double Arthur fist.
I know.
You're in real trouble then.
It was a Spot Fest, but again, the vibe was right.
How long was this? It felt
Short.
really brief.
Yeah.
It was an exhilarating.
8:30.
Yeah, under 10 minutes. It didn't need to go longer because there was no story other than you're constantly watching Kevin Owens. Like, nice storytelling here because Gunther, thrilled, big smile on his face, shaking hands. I beat you, Nick, so thanks very much for this. And then he has now got reason to be, wait a minute. Like, I was led to believe this was going to be a triple threat.
Sami Zayn is going to be like, what?
Yeah.
For a split second, I thought, is Nick Aldis going like heel GM? Actually, I quite like this guy. Going to get the crap out of me. No, he's just...
Yeah, fair's fair kind of thing because it was Gunther and Sammy in the tag match and all that. And yeah, Owens and Punk is one of the ones. I always mentioned that December SmackDown where I went and did all the individual face-offs because they knew which matches were hot and this was one of the hottest. And I imagine they'd have gotten to it now had it not been for Owens' injury, but like, I can't wait. I can't wait for that. They had Punk on I haven't seen all the post-show stuff, but they had Punk on a post-show basically. I know like Triple H did his press conference thing again, but Punk was on the panel. So it was like people in the background. He was like, like, who do you want me to face next? And there was some chance for Cody, big chance for Ober. And he was like, yeah, bring on Ober Femi. I'll fight Ober Femi. So you're thinking, all right, that's exciting what's down the line for CM Punk, WWE champion. And then this trumps a lot of them, doesn't it? Like Kevin Owens, like everybody knows the comparisons here. Like we're looking for a WWE version of the Eddie Kingston CM Punk story. It can't be as good as that because almost nothing in wrestling ever will be or ever was. That's not one of the all-time bits of business ever. But WWE have a really good chance here at creating like their excellent version of it.
I wonder how they're going to navigate that because the law is CM Punk thought Kevin Steen was out of shape and thus out of condition and didn't look good enough cosmetically to wear that T-shirt. They're going to have to flip that on its head. Kevin Owens has been out for 18 months. and CM Punk looked horrendous physically. And I mean, he's a professional wrestler at the end of
On
the day.
purpose for the work of the stuff.
Shut up, man.
Smart.
Shut up.
Of course.
Majestic to see Kevin Owens back. Sami Zayn was brilliant. This match was perfectly judged in every conceivable way, to the second, to the finish, to the combatants. Sami Zayn's brilliant. He is the best actor in professional wrestling right now. That CM Punk Kevin Owens thing is going to be very, very interesting.
I cannot wait for SmackDown.
I think Sami Zayn should join the Bloodline. I think that's the answer to so many problems. Like, where else can he look at this point? Like, why does this keep happening to me? And he's like he reaches out to Roman all over again. Like, why did he reach out to Roman the first time? Because he was going through like a conspiracy nut spell, wasn't he? He does it all. Like, just loop it. Hi, Roman. Good to see you, man. Like, he just shout Roman's once again back on top of the mountain. He got the bloodline around him and he cheers like that. In you come.
In you come. Water's warm.
We see the cast of Super Troopers 3 chinning some drinks at ringside, and then we get to the US title match that was Trick Williams with Lil Yachty
Jesus Christ. Skip.
Almighty.
versus Baron Corbin.
Skip.
Wilbourn, have you seen Super Troopers 2 yet?
No, still working on that.
No, that was a
Getting around to it.
old office thing that we never did.
Yeah,
Never does anything.
Shocker.
Never does anything.
Shocker.
Never does
Don't
anything.
ever watch. Nothing.
Watch Boogie Nights.
Yeah, we get
Bro.
around to it. I'm working on it.
I'll send you a screenshot. I'll make you want to see it.
Williams does his big
He'll
entrance.
just keep the screenshot.
I've already seen everything.
I've seen it.
Yeah, he goes after Corbin for what Corbin's done before. Obviously, he hits a flapjack, chases him out to the outside, but runs straight into a deep 6 on the floor. Corbin then chucks Trick around, chucks him back in the ring, ground and pound from Baron Corbin. They fight back out to the floor again. Lil Yachty gets in Corbin's face, who just shoves him down. Yachty grabs, I think it was a kendo stick, gets something to chase after Baron Corbin, who just decides to get back in the ring at that point. That allows Trick Williams to recover, obviously, and take over. But Corbin, as he does several times in this match, gets out of trouble with an eye rake. And Corbin gets away, stumbles to the ropes, waits about 2 business days, and then Lil Yachty hits him with the kendo stick shot in the ropes.
Honestly.
No, Lil Yachty.
Hit me with your kendo stick. Hit me. It's one of the worst botches of the year because you're asking someone to hit you.
Hit me with your kendo stick. Miss the table, little prick. Hit me.
Disastrous night.
You're
Williams.
such a I can't be arsed with your push onto the table as well.
And,
Off you
yeah.
go. See you later. You had your chance.
Williams hits a Death Valley driver for a near fall. After this, Corbin goes for the end of days, but Trick flips out of it and hits a scissor kick for a near fall. Goes for the trick shot, but Corbin gets away, dodges that, goes out to the floor, grabs the furry US title. Lil Yachty's like, where you going with that, pal? Grabs it. There's sort of a tug of war. Yachty gets dragged onto the apron. And Williams, in this moment, chins Baron Corbin, who bumps Lil Yachty, who falls and bounces off, basically, the Slim Jim table that
you
they
really punked it.
set up earlier. The ref is checking on Lil Yachty at this point. Corbin nails Trick with the title belt shot and hits the end of days for the 1, 2, 3. Baron Corbin is US champion.
Rubbish. And
Nightmarish.
yeah, we've been here before, like with Trick Williams in NXT. Like, the bad matches stack up and it starts becoming a problem. And ultimately, he made it to the main roster before it could become so big a problem that he was never going to get off NXT. And the cycle sort of reset, and he gets massively over. And there's a few new catchphrases and a more defined look than what he had in NXT with the jacket and the lemon pepper steppers. Like, it's all an advancement of the stuff that worked in NXT, but they haven't fixed the stuff that never did. There has not yet been, since I would say the 4-way he was in where Sammy qualified for the
Saturday
title
night's
match.
main event?
Yeah. I don't think there's been a good Trick Williams match since then. I think WrestleMania was passable. I think the rematch with Sammy was, passable is about as generous I can be. And Sami Zayn still got these great performances in him as well. Trick Williams not having it was nearly a disaster for his career in NXT, and I don't want it to happen to him again. But where's the good matches coming from? Like, where it's got to be better than that. Like, I'm not gonna like go to war over match quality of all things, but it has to be better than this for that character to thrive. It has to be better.
He has to be confident and stuff.
Like the cockiness and the cool stuff there. It's okay for it to be a facade, as long as, like, bottom of the ninth, you kind of reveal that you have got something. You have got these reserves. You have got, you know, just even if it's even if you cheat it a bit, even if you just have this one move, like LA Knight doing that. You know, when he had to start adding a couple of things and he slipped half the time he's done it, but he added it, right? Even if there was one of them, you'd be like, all right. And then that kind of buys you enough time to the next one and on to the next one. They didn't fix that in NXT, and they really should have done, and he's suffering from it on the main roster now. I'm assuming this is the end of the little Yachty thing, which is probably for the best, because he's become, you know, like a problem for Trick rather than a helpful manager, whatever. Corbin, look, we like Baron Corbin and that, but what did they expect there either?
What did they expect from all of this?
There is an element where the mindset is, it's not there with Trick. Should we give Bryan Danielson a call? Better idea.
It's
Corbin.
Crazy.
Like, I don't mean that to dig out Baron Corbin,
crazy.
but like, he was never that great, right? So you're supposed to put
You don't put him in a match like this.
You're supposed to put a great hand in there to fool people and to think Trick's got more about him, especially if you're doing the title change.
Or at least do the triple threat with Mello. Mello's getting mugged off on quite a lot of shows.
Yeah, and to be fair to Mello as well, he has addressed a lot of what didn't work for him in NXT. Like, in a big way. He's like understood, right, I can't be the next Shawn Michaels, because Shawn Michaels took work rate and took it to the main event. Like, I can be that work rate mid-carder that like holds a lot of, can be glue for people, and he has done. So yeah, that was bad. Good point, because that was bad matchmaking to not stick him in here. We'd be complimentary of elements of this if Mello was there to stick stuff together. And again, it might have hid some of Trick's
Especially, why was someone setting up a table in the middle of this match?
Well, like one of
To make that thing happen.
Well,
Yeah,
I
granted,
know. I know it was a rhetorical
no good.
question.
Like, the thing is, in their mind, like, Unreal, season 4.
Who cares?
Michael Hayes. We did it again, God. Now he's ready for Money in the Bank. Like, I want him to win less than I did last month. It's not effective in the way they think it is.
This was absolutely nightmarish on every single level when you've got a wrestler just begging out loud for seconds and seconds and seconds on end to get hit with something so you can get to the next part of the match. It is a completely fake nightmare. The match graphic was a nightmare. Who's the babyface? Who's the heel? This is a nightmare. I remember, honestly, Triple H, I don't know if he'd done this on purpose, that absolute fucking idiot. But I distinctly remember, because it was a bit of a Twitter discourse, after, when was the Saints match? Night of Champions? Trick Williams versus Ricky Saints, Night of Champions?
Yeah.
Dave Meltzer went on Observer Radio, and I know he's the enemy. Oh, boo, Dave Meltzer. And he's like, they need to get a really good opponent for him. They need to get a very good opponent for Trick Williams. Get Dragunov back. I mean, I don't think he's injured. What the hell's he doing?
Yeah.
Just like, give him good opponents that can absolutely wrestle themselves and him at the same time. Because at some point, as Hamflett says, this has to be better. It has to be better. It's not going to work. As much as WWE fans outwardly don't care about match quality, as much as AEW exists for that, I get it. Main event Jey Uso wasn't a main eventer because he didn't have the matches. Like, you need to be a certain level. Trick is nowhere near. What the hell did they expect to happen by programming him with, of all people, Baron Corbin? This is insane. It's like, pretty sound advice, you might not like him, the heartbreak, and the worst person just made a great point, but that Dave Meltzer and his dirt sheets, he's probably onto something. Yeah, no, he isn't. Give him Baron Corbin. Give him the ultimate test. No, idiot, it's a work. Don't give him a test. He's failing. He's fucking the test. Give him a good wrestler so he can succeed. This was an absolute shambolic decision from top to bottom. And look, I'm with you. Wolf Dogs for life. Absolutely love the Wolf Dogs, and I think Baron Corbin has a role to play. I do.
I think it's the answer right now.
It's the answer right now, this second. But oh my God, go back in time, whoosh, 3 or 4 months ago, and you're thinking when people were bothered to talk about him, which ain't happening much anymore, they were going, "Is this gingerbread man stuff good?" Because he was really getting over this Trick Williams on SmackDown. He was really getting over. Is this a case of elevating bad material? Can he just sort of do whatever? Can he pull anything off? Is that outright bad? I don't know. We'll just wait. For you to say that Trick Williams, who turned up on SmackDown for those first few weeks and he was interacting with Sammy and he was just felt like the most charismatic guy in the goddamn world. If you were to tell that person watching that wrestler he's going to lose to Baron Corbin at SummerSlam, something has gone disastrously wrong, and it has.
You bit higher on it, or
I don't mind it as much as people. The match, I'm not never going to go back and watch ever again in my life.
It's like a punchline to a joke, this.
But I can see what they want a free trick up so he can go after Money in the Bank. They want to give Baron Corbin an immediate springboard, and there probably is going to be a story coming off the back of this, like with him and Mello and what have you. I was kind of glad Lil Yachty's out of the picture, to be perfectly honest. Now I enjoyed it. I enjoy, nothing against Lil Yachty in terms of he's clearly not just a celebrity they've brought in. He's clearly a wrestling fan who's just buzzed to be a part of it. But if there ever was a night when you're probably best to
amateur
move
hour
on from that.
Amateur hour.
Right, let's get to the ladder match for the interim
Jobbing
WWE.
about the Baron Corbin next. Oh, come on, Mr. Redditor. That's a silly joke. No, it isn't. It's the truth.
Interim WWE Women's Championship ladder match. It was Tiffany Stratton versus Jade Cargill versus Chelsea Green.
Absolutely ass.
Versus Lash Legend versus Charlotte Flair. Suck it.
Oh, suck it. Sung on my eye.
Really, or is this a...
No, it's not a bit. I'm sure this exact thing has come up before. I got something in my eye.
I got emotional too with Chelsea in the interim title, to be fair.
The Prince attire, Jade and the Baddies, all having Prince things.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I like that.
Analyzing it with your dick out.
You liked Jade Cargill's outfit on SmackDown last week, though, more.
You see that?
No.
I've got it saved. I'll show you.
Okay.
Early on, Chelsea Green tries to climb a ladder. Speaking of Jade Cargill, she hit a Jaded into a ladder early on. Stratton tried for a Hurricane Rana on Lash Legend, who just wrecked loads of people early on in this match. She powerbombed Tiffany into the ladder, just bounced off it because it was on the middle ropes. Charlotte goes up, tries to get to the belt, does get to the belt, but Jade Cargill removes the ladder from underneath Charlotte, so she's just dangling. And Charlotte Flair gets pulled off by Jade and Lash. Cargill threw Flair into Legend, and Legend hit a pump kick. She goes up. Stratton catches her on the other side. Legend comes down, grabs Stratton for a powerbomb, but Stratton countered that into a Rana into the ladder. Tiffany goes up. Fans are quite excited about Tiffy 2 belts, but suddenly they're far more excited by her best friend Chelsea Green being in the ring and sort of going, kind of every woman for herself, isn't it? And she tips over the ladder and Stratton spills out onto the pile on the outside. Chelsea Green starts going up. People are throwing babies in the air at this point. But here comes B-Fab and Michin to attack her and help Jade Cargill get up there. Green gets hung upside down, legs trapped in the ladder. Jade's being helped to climb up. But Charlotte Flair, suck it, comes in, beats the crap out of B-Fab and Michin, climbs. Jade and Charlotte fight on the top of the ladder.
This is good. This is good stuff.
They both crash down again. And suddenly, everyone is down except Chelsea Green, who's trapped in the ladder. She rises up, climbs up the ladder, and grabs the interim title. Huge moment for Chelsea Green.
Far be it from me to bury a recap, Wilbourn. I cannot do it. I've sat in that chair. I am not a broadcast professional, okay? I'm not a professional. There was a fatal flaw in your recap there, and I must pull you up on it. I'm sorry, because on this podcast, as everybody knows, we're a little bit too fucking real. You say, Jade, and I'm just pointing it out for anyone who didn't watch, just for the sake of accuracy, Jade Cargill and Charlotte Flair crashed down from the ladder. No, they didn't. They treated the ladder bump on the Big Show, which, if you're ever going to do it, if you sign up to be a WWE superstar on your contract, there's certain things you've just kind of got to do. At the big shows and the multi-person ladder match, you're going to kind of have to just take an absolutely stupid bump and really hurt yourself. You signed up for it. I didn't. Did I sign a contract that said? No, I didn't. You did, so do it. They treated the big ladder bump on the second biggest show of the year when it's kind of just expected that you do it. Tiffany Stratton took a good bump on a ladder in one of the two good spots, and they both involved Tiffany Stratton. They climbed 4/5 of the way down and then just went,
Yeah.
land off their feet, and then just kind of, it was absolutely pathetic. Like it's a ladder match, man. It exists to do one thing: crown a winner and do some stupid bumps. It was pathetic. It was funny. They treated it like it was a honky tonk man doing some kind of indie in like the late 2000s for anyone stupid enough to pay him. They probably all got paid. It's fine. They honky tonk manned in the indies out on that ladder. It was pathetic. This match was absolutely crap. The only good thing about it was Chelsea won, and people like Chelsea because at least she would have guaranteed you a moment of insanity that you have to do with these ladder matches for better or worse. But the fact that she won means she ain't taking that bump in this match, so it had literally nothing going for it other than the finish. But that doesn't matter. People like the finish.
It was short as well. Like, they didn't ask for loads of you, or it felt short, I don't know.
13 minutes.
Yeah, like, considering that there's, 5 of them out there, and often that would insist on, 20 minutes or whatever, so you get multiple versions of the big bump, people fall on the pile, whatever. I think they just knew that wasn't really in this one. Lash Legend had a really bad night. I thought there was those sequences where they were trying to do, in the early going where you had Chelsea.
Train wreck at times.
Chelsea and Tiffany, and it was mainly Jade and Lash, but then Charlotte would get in the mix a little bit as well, where you've got, it's the sort of stuff that, DIY and the Revival would do, where it's the dual tag sequences, whatever, and it just didn't look good at all. They weren't particularly slick with it out there. Lash Legend looked in her head, which is not ideal for that kind of character because she's supposed to be kind of above it all and too cool for it. I do think, considering how they worked so hard on television.
They're not training them down to wrestle down there.
I know, man, considering how hard they worked to screw Nia Jax out of a spot in this match, I think she would have been pretty good in it. I think Nia Jax would have brought that. There was a bit of a lack of danger and chaos to this, exemplified by Charlotte and Jade's
it's
safe dismount from the...
It's funny. It's funny. She is...
when the kids are toddlers and you buy those all-in-one garden slides, they're just a plastic frame with a slide. And, your kid's really excited to go on it, but then they want you to go on it. And you can't kill the myth of, look, if I'm the full length of this slide, I can't really move on it. I just have to go down and then I'm already on my feet. That's them getting off this ladder. It completely, it breaks the immersion, doesn't it? You're like, oh, they could just do that every time.
Yeah.
What were those idiots, the Hardy Boys, the Dudley Boys, and Edge and Christian thinking?
Yes.
Just gently climb down and then fall off. You stupid idiots. Chelsea. I think the Chelsea Tiffany stuff was really good. Subverted my expectations. I thought there would be Chelsea taking that horrible bump, and it would be as a result of Tiffany. Now you've got this really lovely moment, which again I think is going to be for Unreal. By the way, Chelsea Green's been this featured character on it since the beginning, and I think they'll frame a lot around.
Dedicate the win to Michael Hayes.
Yeah. Him and his booking partner upstairs, obviously. I don't think she makes it a month with this belt. Tiffany's going to turn her probably as early as this Thursday and then win it, because obviously at some point that champion's got to fight Rhea Ripley.
SmackDown on Thursday, is it?
Friday, sorry.
I wasn't meant to take that. I was genuinely asking. I know what Friday night SmackDown is. What's Thursday night SmackDown?
Back when this business meant something, that's what that is. The Ovaltron, remember it? The heel turn is now good to go, and Tiffany's even got the justified complaint of, well, I would have won it if you hadn't pushed me off a ladder, you dickhead. Yeah. But they got the nice moment out of it.
And then we get the Human Monies on a pole match. Danhausen versus Dominic Mysterio. You talk about boo-boo face. He wasn't wearing his gear. He was not wearing his belt. Dominic Mysterio.
He normally brings a mask out for the papes, and the belt was in there. Was the belt underneath that little top thing, or was it just in the back?
He tweeted the gif of, I think it's Marshawn Lynch, who just said, "I'm here so I don't get fired." So I don't think he's in best pleased with all this. I'm not surprised, to be perfectly honest.
Had a bit of a slide down the card, don't
they? So early on, Danhausen dodged a 619 and hit Mysterio with a Northern Light suplex. But Danhausen missed a charge in the corner, and Mysterio takes over, hits the Three Amigos. Danhausen tried to climb the ropes, but there is JD McDonough to cut him off. But here come the Mini-Hausens. Business picked up then.
Sure, I love them, man.
They attacked JD McDonough. One of them was, as we talked about in the Raw preview, I believe, El Torito Hausen, basically. They all tried to climb the pole that had the bag of money on it, but Dom cut them off. So Dom got sent to the floor by one of the mini houses.
JD McDonough had other ideas.
Like Dom sort of forgot about one. You know, one was like climbing the pole. He's like, well, it's all dealt with, surely.
Yeah. I did like the dive that mini house
Oh, it's
did.
unbelievable.
Splat.
Hits him and just keeps
Show
going.
it again, JR.
It's that WrestleMania 32 Sasha Banks last minute correction, but with a barricade at the end of it.
Yeah.
Whoa, splat. Brilliant.
Yeah, I've watched it on loop about 10 times today.
Everybody wins.
Yeah.
But they pull the spot off.
Yeah.
And we have a big old laugh.
Big ol' big ol' yawn as well. God, too much fed in the morning, eh?
Danhausen
No, never enough for me.
goes for the money,
Fed in the morning.
and McDonough cuts him off with a huge headbutt.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that was good. Joe Hendry runs down to take out JD with his guitar, and it's down to Dom and Danhausen. Danhausen gets crotched, and Dom's about to grab the money when he gets cursed. Sets off the pyro on the post.
Near enough.
Yeah, close enough.
Dom spills down. He can't really be asked to even cross himself. He just sort of goes, oh,
Yeah.
falls down. And Danhausen grabs the human monies and hands it out to the crowd, including Nick Khan and his son. That was a nice moment.
These WWE wrestlers
I'll take that.
These WWE wrestlers are like allergic to bumping now. It's crazy,
They're
man.
allergic to wrestling in a lot of
They're
cases.
allergic to wrestling and allergic to bumping and just going for it. Like, they should be like, bollocks, really. Do it. It's his job.
Oh, God, I think Triple H he does fancy himself a Roy Keane.
He
doesn't
does,
I guess I can't explain what made me the game. You got to figure it out. No, low effort, this, other than the mini Housens, like, we talked about this in the Raw preview, who had such good chemistry with JD McDonough. You're like, well, how many singles matches can we get out of this? Wrestling's weird. Wrestlers generally work, trunks, tights, whatever, but a bit like sometimes when a wrestler comes out when they normally wear wrist tape and then don't, like Randy Orton in 2010. Joe Hendry in that run-in without his blue shirt on looked like he just got out of the shower or something. I can't explain it. It's like I've seen him out without his top on hundreds of times. That's why he wrestles in. But it's like, where's your blue shirt? That's odd. I found that like really distracting.
Where's your shirt, Joe?
Aye.
Three fun bumps. Choke slam.
The bag of money with a big dollar sign on pop me a bit.
Of course it did, mate.
Swear.
The dive, the choke slam, the power slam. It's all good stuff, apart from everything else in the match. It's not all good
Just
stuff.
some real sauce in that power slam, wasn't there?
Yeah. Choke slam were good.
I did like JD's. This is what it feels like to be Ober tweeting. The image of him just chucking around the mini Housens. Anyway, IC title was on the line next. It was Penta versus Chad Gable.
Skip.
I thought he was doing this because the Minnesotans would know what it was. Why didn't they know what it was?
Hey, we've had a lot of fun riffing on our electric guitars today, gang. But you want to know what really rocks? Accountability. Jesus, man.
So early on, Gable goes for the ankle lock, but Penta escaped that. So Gable hits rolling German suplexes and gets a near fall. Gable goes for a moonsault, but Penta super kicked him in midair. Gable went for another ankle lock, but Penta kicks Gable to the floor, and Penta follows him out with a big dive.
Too much fed.
Back inside, Penta hits the Penta driver for a near fall, catches Gable with a super kick, but then runs into a overhead belly-to-belly suplex in the corner. Gable dives off the top rope, but lands right into Penta's arm snap spot. Gable, though, catches Penta with an armbar. Penta tried to destroy her on the apron, but Gable countered into a German suplex instead. Gable comes off the top with a moonsault to the floor onto Penta. And back inside, he hits a headbutt off the top, but tweaks his arm on the shoulder on the landing. Gable tried for a superplex. Penta headbutts his way free. And Penta comes off the middle rope and hits a Mexican destroyer on the apron. He wants another one in the ring.
Not on the apron, dude.
But Penta, as he goes for another Mexican destroyer, Gable catches him, flips him into an ankle lock. The transition to that was nice. And Penta almost gets to the ropes, but gets dragged back into the middle of the ring, grapevined. And Penta has no choice but to tap. Chad Gable wins. Post-match, he celebrates Penta puts the title around his waist.
One of my favourite bits of all.
Parents, family, they're all there.
Genuinely lovely.
They're all there, aren't they?
First ever singles title for him in
He's
his
genuinely
hometown.
emotional. It's lovely to see.
All of his loved ones.
Time for some root beer, I'd say.
Tell him, try.
Tell people
They
happen.
got the mascot from what I
I
forgot.
don't know, dog the root beer dog. So it's like, what's he doing there? You're thinking, hang on, the way he's mounted the
Honestly.
ropes, he looks like a worker, so that dog's head's going to come off and he's going to turn on Chad Gable. No, it's just a root beer advert.
A root beer advert with a root beer mascot, and then he's hovering dangerously close to Gable. I'm looking at the height of this dude specifically, and I'm thinking, he's just won the United States title. Baron Corbin, underneath the mascot outfit, isn't going for the Intercontinental as well, is he? It looked for sure like a pro wrestling angle. And what a good one in front of his entire family
Yeah.
and gets wrecked. That would have been awesome. That's wrestling, baby. No, it's not. It's an advert. Here's something as well.
Dog of the night, Chad Gable. Whatever.
Yeah. Here's something. Do I care about Wingstop branded chairs, or is the ship sailed on a chair existing where it should and it's somewhat feeling germane to the environment and realistic or whatever? I don't think I care about the Wingstop chair.
Yeah, I,
even
like,
though-
I like the Slim Jim tables. I think
Well,
I think it looks fun.
I don't like them, but I'm completely ambivalent. Who cares? They shouldn't exist where they are at all times anyway. This was the 6th best match on a 6-match Dynamite card. This was nothing. Tell me something about this match that should make me like it, or why it stood out, or other than the post-match celebration, which was genuinely nice, Chad Gable's very real emotion, and all the rest of it. In terms of the actual match, bell to bell, beat for beat, this was the 6th best match on an AEW Dynamite card. And I'm not just saying that to be an arsehole, I'm saying it because it was worked to be the good work rate match, and it fell so short compared to the general standard these days. Is Triple H like, it's his problem? Give them this.
Do you know what this reminded me of?
The 6th best match on a Dynamite.
No, God, no.
Come on.
Well, no, I'd want to watch this more than any of those other 5. But I get you. I get with and agree your point. But what's reminding me of?
Because of the logo.
WWE used to be
The
different.
WWE logo.
It makes everything better. It used to be different though. Like, remember WrestleMania, an old one, old heads guide. Pre Javon Evans years, WrestleMania 19. Matt Hardy and Rey Mysterio had this lovely flashes of chemistry and got like 5 minutes. And everybody was raging, and then WWE ran it back as like a pretty hot main event of a SmackDown that went about 20 minutes, and it was like, there it is. But they couldn't do it at Mania. Pay-per-views used to be different. Had a hard out once upon a time, and some matches would really suffer as a result. None of that exists anymore. There's no such thing as like hard out on these shows. You can kind of do whatever you want. But then
Drop some still images from SummerSlam 2004 if you wanted, and give this a bit more time.
But if this was just this exhibition of once again that they've got this great chemistry together,
Do they?
but we're going to do this longer match. Well, no. But if that's what this was designed to do, and there's going to be a longer match down the line where there's one more rematch, because it's kind of Penta and Chad that started this whole thing for Chad. This is like, I know they've had other matches, but consider this a bit of a 1-1, and now we have a rubber match that's sort of a Raw main event where they hold the IC title off, and it's like the main event of Raw, the Intercontinental title. It's 30 minutes, and it's brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant. I could sort of justify it almost, but this didn't make me want that match.
No.
And WWE are no longer the company that books that match. So I just felt like I was watching this. Oh, we're just rushing it. Are we then? This was that can't be arsed stuff that I get wound up about in 2026. And then you see Dog the root beer dog, and you're like, oh, it was for that. How silly of me to think it might have been for any other reason.
Got to give a shout out to former colleague Jack the Jobber.
Hey!
Who's, trending a little bit on social media after this, with quoting the image. I forgot what it looked like of the root beer dog.
Mug root beer dog.
Yes. Jack tweeted, "No heartwarming family moment is complete without mug root beer. Get that dog in you."
Good stuff.
Good stuff.
What else can you do but take the piss out of something like this?
I
It
know.
looked preposterous. Big
You'd
old
rather watch this than Dynamite matches.
any day of the week, twice on
This-
I was going to say twice on Sunday. I mean twice on
You know what's
Wednesday.
happened here, gang? Is I've planted a seed of what's the word I'm looking for here? Is it going to be obdurate? I don't know. He's going to hate Dynamite this week because I've been like this on the Monday.
You said it out loud now, so I might try not to. That's where you made the mistake.
No, you should.
Now-
just-
now-
Grand Slam Mexico.
Oh, don't. That's a trick.
I'm not tricking you. I'm just saying, like,
That
going,
crowd, though.
you're
Grand Slam
gonna-
Mexico was
you're-
really hot last year.
you're
Really
going to
hot.
have to be versus me on Wednesday because I've said this. I know how your brain works.
Yeah, but like I'm predisposed to like half of this stuff because the crowd will be hot. You know, like. It's not that. It's just I didn't miss AEW last week. I really missed WWE. You know.
Oh, I
we
miss
kinda-
WWE.
Like Wilbourn was going through those star ratings.
Oh,
for
if only I
Redemption,
could
was
see
just
it
like,
again every day at the office.
It's just these useless, boring sounding mid card matches. Like it's a roster problem that I've got with AEW at the moment. Not match quality. It's never match quality, is it? Never.
No.
It's just the roster, you know.
That Raw mid card is absolutely red hot.
Never said it was, but it's red branded.
Just
Always-
wants
it's always
get
like
to the
that.
main event, dude.
The main event of night 2 was the World Heavyweight Championship. Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins, with Seth wearing his old Shield mask and teasing a Shield entrance, but then coming out in his colourful gear and what have you. Thoughts on the gear, by the way?
Yeah, quite nice. Seth Rollins. Vince McMahon was wrong about a million things, and one of them was Seth Rollins in white because he always looks good in white.
On gear. Sorry, something just popped into my head. Chad Gable's ass. What was that dot on his ass?
I don't know.
That big spot. That looked distracting.
Yeah, because I like the purple and gold, obviously, good colours, and the whole was for Minnesota and that.
Purple gear.
Purple gear.
Yeah. Is that anything?
Yeah, definitely. We're in Minnesota, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, Seth looked good.
Yeah,
the-
Chad didn't.
The
What do you think of the Punkers gear?
loved it.
Oh.
The green and yellow, really liked it. Yeah. It's funny as well. This is a guy who would like submit his body of work with Ring of Honor as like the highlight of it. All the things he's done, he'd probably still say that's the stuff that meant the most to me. 20 years since my ECW debut. That was what he was toasting. He knows where his bread's buttered, and he should. Where his fed's buttered.
I thought he said he left wrestling.
He left wrestling in 2023, where it belongs, in the background. Going back to being a star. I like the white flak jacket. When like Seth is like, remind you of anything? Yes, the fucking Shield, Seth. That's all you've done for the last month / 12 years. Remind me of the Shield.
Show's called Takeover, right?
Can I ask, because I haven't checked yet, did we aggregate on the news this morning anything along the lines of Roman Reigns shoots hard on John Moxley?
No.
Good,
It was
right,
Punk and...
because I saw a YouTube video saying that basically. I didn't want to rip the piss out of our aggregation, but I can rip the piss out of another one because it was just Roman Reigns said this about people that left, and obviously he'll never miss an opportunity to take a dig at Cody and Punk, and it was probably them. But straight away, the T-Mox, he's actually got the mini velociraptors out in force. Leave John Moxley alone.
Do one more T-Mox with gusto.
I went to.
You knew
We
you could do
tried
better.
last week and we couldn't do it.
I'm going to try my impression for...
Right, okay.
I can't do it.
I feel pressure now.
No, you're the best at
Wait,
it.
wait,
Go on.
wait, all right.
Go on, you can do it.
In comes Hikaru Shida. She's thinking, oh, it could mean Persephone could do something for 15. Gotta get it right,
There was a good bit as well in this match. I can't remember where he was like, the bit of monologue and stuff. And I know people might not go for that, but there was the bit
It's a
where
bit of wrestling.
there was a bit where it was like, it's me and you. This is their fucking red rooster or whatever. And I was like, I caught that. I can't care less about most of this, but that I got. Get him.
The one that's producing all these talentless fucks. Oh, another burn on Terry. And he's Triple H's mate.
Aye.
Roman just went, go for his mate. Might take out William Regal next.
Early on, back and forth stuff. They eventually fight into the crowd, and they walk and they brawl. Rollins hit Reigns with a stanchion, basically. Reigns hits a suplex on the floor. They go back ringside, and Seth tried for a spear, but Reigns catches him in that guillotine, powers him up, and shield bombs him through the Spanish announce table.
So funny, isn't
I love
it?
when they say Shield the stuff. I love it. When it was Punk and Cody, and I said, the Shield GTS! And then it falls on their shoulders.
Reigns goes for a second one, but Rollins countered It's quite impressive. He proper powered up Roman's here for a shield bomb through the other announce table. The ref, despite not being asked when they were fighting in the crowd, decided to do a count-out spot here. They both get back in at 9, but Roman slides right into a pedigree.
Get that motherfucker back in time to Resurgence era New Japan. Are you shitting me? He got in at 9.999.
His kickouts again here, by the way.
I've got a take on this match. Jesus Christ.
Near fall. Crowd, you mentioned the crowd chanting, "This is awesome." At this point, Rollins sets up for a stomp, but Reigns hits him with a Superman punch. Reigns goes for a spear, but he was really committed, actually, because Seth jumps over and he just nails the turnbuckle. Seth hits a stomp. Great near fall again in terms of Roman's kick out. Seth superplexed Roman off the top, but as he goes for the Falcon Arrow, Roman counters into the guillotine, pulls Rollins down, body scissors, but Rollins fights up, goes for a suplex. But Roman slides out and hits a spear for another near fall. Roman charged for another one, like the bounce, the Braun one that he does. But Seth hits a better spear than Jey Uso on Roman Reigns for a near fall. This was the Red Rooster spot as they're talking about numbers and owning each other's asses and what have you. Rollins gives Roman
welcome to night 2, he said at one point.
Funny.
Well, thanks, Roman.
Seth gives Roman a buckle bomb, goes for a stomp, but Roman avoids it. Shield buckle bomb to Seth from Roman Reigns. And Roman hit a stomp for a near fall. The referee goes down in amongst all this. And Seth hits a wacky line. There's a nod to Dean Ambrose.
He's a member of the Shield.
Shield Ambrose.
Seth wanted dirty deeds, but Roman countered that into dirty deeds of his own. Reigns went for a spear, but Rollins ducked, and this was when the referee properly got taken out.
Dirty Deeds is the double arm DDT, isn't it? Like, made famous by Mick Foley, so should probably rename it Dirty Bollocks.
Bow, 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 wow, wow, bow, 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 bow. Wow. Oh, God.
So, Reigns has hit the referee. Rollins slides out and grabs the Shield chair. He's going to hit Roman with it, but Roman spots him on the big screen, turns around, uppercuts Seth. Reigns picks up the chair, but beautifully acknowledges it's time to move on. Like that bloke in, what's the film? Not
Love
Notting
Actually.
Hill. Love Actually, that's it. Enough now. Throws the chair down.
That's fabulous stuff. Good business, that.
Seth starts slapping Roman, who comes back with...
I'm going to put this chair down. I think I'm gonna win clean. I think I'm gonna forget about the Shield. Actually, one of the two.
Seth turning up at Roman's door with like a bunch of things that just keep saying, "Can we do the Shield again? Can we do the Shield again?" Keeps chicken. Enough now.
Slaps from Seth, headbutts from Roman.
Seth, actually.
Rollins hits a kick. Reigns hits a Superman punch. Reigns wants a spear, but Seth does that thing where he dives and hits him with a pedigree. Stomp from Seth. He goes for like the super top rope stomp, but Roman dodges that. Spear, another spear, a third spear. 1, 2, 3. Roman Reigns retains the World Heavyweight Championship. Michael Cole declares that Roman has finally tied up all loose ends, and there's a moment where they're just slumped in opposite corners of the ring, and they just stare at each other. And then we get the Shield fist bump to close out this show.
Can I go first here?
Mm-hmm.
I want to say one thing, and it's about Love Actually, since it came up. There are very few things in the world that annoy me more than the originally intended comma in the title of that film.
Oh.
You know it's going to be called Love. Actually. It's Christmas about presents? No. It's about love, actually. Oh. It really is. I hate it. Like, psychic damage gets absorbed. What's he, Richard Curtis?
Yeah.
Oh, my God. Right, this match. spiritually, everything that I hate. Except I don't hate it. I just laugh at it. It's funny. Monologues, finisher theft, ref bumps, this idea that it thinks it's art or better than countless thousands of other incredible pro wrestling matches and iconic moments that managed to tell significantly better, richer, more exciting, more weighty, more emotional stories before Roman Reigns said, you know what would make this good? Crap dialogue like our films. Like, he's such an idiot asshole.
Maybe I could do films.
Yeah, like I hate it. Like this idea, it's like he suddenly had this idea. It's like we could do stories. Haven't you been doing that all along? Stories with words. It's not what the promos are for. Like, this, and then loads of them are at it now. Loads of them do it. It's one thing to do a bit of like rock style mid-match trash talk. That's good. The idea of dialogue inserted into matches, I cannot stand it. And it's not so much, I find it like really cringeworthy because the delivery is often terrible. The idea that they think they've unlocked this great key to make this thing that you like from the smoky bars. It's art now because I hate it. Finisher theft. Like all of the things that I cannot stand. All of the things about modern WWE particularly, but a lot of modern wrestling as well, that I cannot stand. This was an absolutely brilliant execution of something that I hate. I'm telling you now, these two were bound and determined to have this incredible match. I thought it sucked in a lot of spiritual ways that caused me yet more psychic damage. And yet, that Roman 9.99, I'm not joking, I have seen, that was as good as, you remember when Ghetto did it too much during the Resurgence? Mm-hmm. Well, they're all goated at these count-outs and it always gets a reaction, and we're never actually going to do a count-out, but tease it every time because it's amazing.
They're up to 18 and his head's still under the table.
Yeah. And then Roman, I'm like, he's not going to make it. It was majestic. Roman's always had great physical timing.
Yeah.
The kickouts. Obviously, I know they're coming because I know the rhythm of a WWE match inside out. You kind of have to be a moron at this point to watch them as often as we all do and not guess, oh, it's not the finish, it's not the finish, it's not the finish. I've been on my phone for 5 minutes and I know it's not the finish. They were incredibly well done. The way that, like, I know they get pelters for the shield spear and the shield pedigree or whatever, and how contrived it looks. Every little cut-off was timed. Like, this was the perfectly timed pro wrestling match, except this is the perfectly timed crap cinema match. They went in there so tight with their chemistry. Seth Rollins brutally upstaging CM Punk. I never thought I would see the day. Perfect execution of something I hate. They had this crowd going, I mean, even this crowd who was eating up the slop. Nom, 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 nom. They lost them for a good chunk before the the Shield finish. But for most of it, when they were doing action, they had this crowd. This crowd were eating out their goddamn hands.
Yeah, like, I'm glad you said that because I do think this match sort of invites a bit more than the obvious
ridicule.
Yeah, it was rubbish from people that either aren't watching or are half watching. I think because they've seen it a million times, they know what to expect. And I think there's going to be some of that around this. Or people might just love it, I don't know. But I just got the impression I was watching, I was like, this is better than some people are going to give it credit for.
Yeah.
It still wasn't all to my taste, to be honest. There was one of the issues, there was some chance where it feels like sometimes there's like a cheerleader section within the crowd. It's like, come on, gang, we need to get them going again. And Seth and Roman have sometimes got such terrible instincts that they don't take that to mean we should probably do some more stuff that gets that chant organically rather than just like make them come. Like, they're not coming. There's three people.
Up
at the back there. Because there was a lot of like just their artless.
Oh, it's so artless
stuff they do.
So artless.
They just don't know any other way.
But exciting and well done.
But yeah, like they kind of. I would say a lot of it is down to the execution. A lot of it. Seth Rollins rarely right. You know how there's so many wrestlers where you're like, it's great when they're wrestling the mates because they can lay it in a bit. They don't mind hitting each other hard. They've kind of just got that like eyes closed, like fingers in ears chemistry where it's still come off. They probably don't need to call stuff they've wrestled each other that often. Seth Rollins never feels like that guy. He never ever wrestles like that guy. Like, we know that the Roman Reigns thing is actually real, and yet you would still think, oh, he's going to go out, he's going to bloody ruin it with his usual Rollins stuff. You know, you don't apply these things that you apply to wrestlers.
This was his
to
best
him.
individual performance, and it was still artless slop, but in terms of timing and everything, it was great.
He wasn't asked to sell a body part because he always ruins it when he does that. That wasn't really in play here, was it? A bit of a, you know, one of my guilty pleasures, genuinely, is for all the Shield stuff that we mock. I actually quite like the Roman's obsession element of it. So I was quite glad that this was the time to pay that off. Like, I didn't mind that Seth got nothing at WrestleMania 40 because what was his job? To be the Shield, like Shield. But it was like that was his job. That he said, "I'll be your Shield," right? And he was knackered and he was beaten up.
I'll be your shield.
I'll be your shield. And all Seth knew was that if he could do nothing else, he could trigger Roman's obsession, and that turned out to be enough for Cody to win. And I always quite like that. I've always bought that. When there's nothing else left to buy about the Shield bollocks, I've just about bought that Roman can get wound up like this weird little kryptonite. And I liked watching that play out as part of it. The rest of the melodrama, it was just the same old stuff we've seen a million times.
Yeah.
But what you?
No, not like it. It's just
they felt in the mood again. I think they're like in the same way that Cody and Punk kind of spat the dummies out and like had the lip on. I think for a lot of their match, these two.
This was fueled by that.
Yeah,
Sunday was fueled by Saturday, big time.
These two saw this as like, Christ, they've left an opening here. We can walk through and we can steal it, and they did.
Cody and Punk got Cody and Punk got 5 players sent off on FIFA. That's what they did.
They got Shield mogged. Have I done that right? I don't know.
Before we wrap this
I'm
up,
40 years old.
let's go to the chat. We've got a few comments here to read out. John Catter writing, they thought they ate with that fist bump, didn't they? F me. Also good to see the most reasonable member of the Dudleys back, Mr. Hamflett.
Did he hear him talk about Cody Rhodes versus CM Punk?
It was earlier on, to be fair.
They thought they ate. Did you see the specific area of the arena they brawled by? The section was A8.
Was it?
They're fighting like they ate.
Probably gone round to the stadium and thought that's the right one. That's the one.
Hi to Matt Rains in the chat, who says, happy Monday, guys.
Have you got the emoji clue yet, you idiot?
The Fed already took my booking idea of naming Nick Aldis the SmackDown GM, and because Wilbourn did an interview with him years ago, there'd be no excuse in forgetting his name. Good point.
Yeah. Congratulations to Nick Aldis for getting that new job.
Yeah. Also, I may or may not have dinner plans with a certain panda lover and a WhatCulture writer tonight. Have a great time, guys.
I hope you have a great deal of fun.
Yes.
With the birds again.
Dinner and then Monday Night Raw.
What a night.
Up. Shut mouth, bastard.
Steve Nuggabulls says, g'day, handsome gents. KO is back. Do you think they could do a Benoit Guerrero WrestleMania 20 moment with these two? I assume he means Owens and Zayn, obviously, in that. I know that was cursed in hindsight, but I remember watching that live and loving it then. So I suppose more of a two best mates who are world champions at the end of WrestleMania.
Yeah, we've kind of half done it.
They had a better one at WrestleMania 38.
Yeah.
Austin and the Jackass match is more meaningful. What they showed in those spots, I think, is more meaningful than 2 belts.
Then so what they did at 39.
Yeah. Invented.
You can't. Yeah. It's a shame because there's lots of people not many people who've had unshared journeys together, and that should make it all the more special. But the very framing of that WrestleMania 20 moment, you cannot really ever harken back to it.
I remember, and it's funny to think in terms of actually where they arrived in terms of the status. Matt Hardy wanted it for him and Jeff right around the time like Jeff was. I remember him saying it. Like we'd love that as brothers to both win world titles at WrestleMania or whatever, but even then, it was like, I know you're brothers, but look what people are going to compare it to. And you just think WWE would probably rather not. Yeah. They've given it them in so many other ways.
People would, even if it was like a nice thing to do, the gifts and the
side-by-sides.
Yeah, the side-by-sides. You can't do it.
Hi to the wonderful Eric Vasquez, great first name. Says, the Dudleys, more like the Godwins. Hamflett with the calves. Sidge with the hog. Wilbourn a bit like Farmer Hoggett from Babe. Great film, by the way. Happy early birthday, Willie. Cheers all. Thanks, Eric.
Thanks. Anatomically inaccurate.
Mark Lee Willis says, with Cole saying Dom, quote, looked like a robber, and it obviously not being about his skeleton attire, is Cole an effing prick? count that as one of my swears. I must have missed that.
What's going on here?
Cole called Dom a robber.
Because he was trying to nick off with the money.
No, I think he was in. Yeah, it's more of a not the skeleton outfit he's wearing, just his family heritage or something. I don't know what he
I've
was.
got no idea.
Cheat and steal.
I've got no idea what this is. I missed it completely.
Yeah.
But Mark also says, and I want to echo this sentiment, hats off to KO for mentioning Rebel. Yeah, Kevin Owens.
Yeah, that
mentioned
was really nice.
Rebel
really
in
nice.
the post match. He said, and he basically said, "This is bigger than wrestling companies," and
Indeed.
it is.
And it's basically his way of directing attention towards a charity show.
That's nice.
And AW, I think it might have been whilst you were away. AW doing a special Dynamite called Rebel Heart.
Oh, brilliant.
With all
September
proceeds, something like that. Yeah. What else have we got here? Mimi.
Nah.
Mimi Boris says, stupid question, but there are so many incredible wrestlers in the world. Why do the only two wrestling companies insist on choosing wrestlers who aren't good at wrestling to be on the wrestling show?
I don't know. It's because some of them are over for a time, and wrestling stars have got there's a long, rich tradition of wrestling stars, some of them being crap at wrestling and it working for a little while. So
Yeah.
it's about making money. At the end of the day.
WWE, I don't think. I think it's happened so gradually that they've not noticed it until it's too late. But
It's like they forgot.
like you used to flag this up all the time about who are the real success stories of the Performance Center, and back then the argument was stars, wasn't it? And I think you can look now and be like, yeah, they can probably make some stars, knock out some good like catchphrase spewers and potential money makers and all that. But the wrestling side of it has faltered badly. The teaching, the chickens have come home to roost in terms of the teaching style, definitely. Like AEW, for better or worse of the ring style, what you see more than anything is the fact that people are coming out with a diversity of skills. Some stuff might not work for you, or some stuff might, the people might not project in the way you would like. You know, Grayson Waller might have had a point in that pipe bomb about that old-fashioned difference about the ones that can talk versus the ones that can work and all of that. But WWE's failure, I think, to instill the proper basics versus the TV basics at the Performance Centers now a massive problem. They can't do it. It's not even bad fundamentals. It's no fundamentals.
No
Yes.
fundamentals.
You can't do it.
I can't do anything with you.
DeBoss Mortos has a solution for the Brie injury.
Mortos.
Nikki will apologise and Paige will be a partner. So it's Nikki and Paige versus AJ, and you knew the mate now. Sorry.
Sorry about that.
Sorry about that.
Sorry about that for saying you took my spot when I gave you.
I'm turning 6 weeks ago when she's healthy.
Yeah. Matt Rain says, with regards to your clues for your special live show entrance, which tickets are available
Oh,
for
no, don't
now.
say it out loud in case someone gets it.
I knew I figured it out, Sidge, but didn't want to spoil your Anthony Bowen's entrance. He's a 5-tool player, so he's nowhere near getting it right.
Doesn't get it.
I'll leave the final question to Rama Nomad, who says, Sidge, what is your Mount Hatemore of matches moments from this SummerSlam?
Oh, God. I was really disappointed by Punk and Cody. Truly I was. CM Punk just can't move.
You need to watch it again. Give it a second look. Treat yourself. You'll get it the second time around. It's all right.
It's not Twin Peaks The Return, mate. It's a crap wrestling match with someone who can't move. So I didn't like that. See, the bad stuff I laughed at. Genuinely, I laughed at. What do you call Dog the root beer dog?
Yes.
I mean, it's funny.
You can't laugh at that.
It's so farcical that literally nothing is sacred with TKO anymore.
Yeah.
Literally nothing is sacred. Fun, heartwarming, your career zenith that no one ever thought you would reach. And they even basically said on commentary, the dude was Shorty G. You never thought something this nice and this powerful could ever happen to him. How awesome is that? There's a root beer dog.
Look, guys, Dog the Root Beer Dog's clapping.
Charlotte Flair, in her continued quest to never take a single bump, just gently falling off a ladder and doing one of those rolling lucha bumps. So she's on concrete. It's funny. There's honestly.
Did you on the Raw preview this morning? As a bit of a primer, talking about that we would disagree on elements of the show. You said people were going in 2-footed on this as a show. Online, was the reaction very caustically negative towards
it's the usual people who aren't inclined to enjoy WWE, maybe overstating how bad it was, because I quite enjoyed it at parts. I thought Seth Rollins was incredible when he was the physical action of his moves.
Well, let us know your thoughts.
I just found it funny. Thank you for the question, though.
Let us know your thoughts on SummerSlam, either in the comments or on X at WhatCulture WWE. Watch, they can follow all four of us. Sort of, you can follow Michael Hamflett at
Hamflettx@gmail.com. I'm also on Cameo.
follow Michael Sidgwick at
Voot, shield, voot. At M. Sidgwick.
follow Adam Nicholas at
It's Adam Nicholas.
and you can follow me at Adam Wilbourn. Follow us all at WhatCulture
We
WWE.
already did this on the podcast.
Oh,
the other
that's
week. Victor, Oscar,
Tango.
Tango, Voot.
Check out the Raw preview right now. But for now,
That's new.
this has been SummerSlam review. My thanks to Hamflett, Sidgwick, to Nicholas. Thank you for joining
Black
us.
jacket.
Yeah.
And we'll see you soon.
Cum shield.